Alright, so this is going to be session 34 of Avatar, The Great War.
Alright, so Nara's dead and is basically being kept on the mortal plane by Bazu. Do I have that right?
That is our current...
Probably. We don't actually have confirmation of that part, but it is on theory.
Okay. But Nara's definitely dead.
Though she's a lot older than she seems, and they ran into her dad. As in, like, her actual dad.
Her actual physical father.
And how old is he?
Normal age for a dude who has a kid.
Point is, it's implied that Nara has been 10 for a very long time. Well, whatever she actually is. And, oh, by the way, the town she's from is probably one of the ones that Yura torched.
I mean, it definitely was, from my understanding.
Yeah, it was.
And the plan is to only tell her about the Yura torching part.
Well, the plan is, be careful about how much we tell her, because Bazu's gonna get super cranky.
Well, I mean, there's also the question of, if we mess it up and she doesn't want Bazu anymore, they both might die.
But yeah, it's heavily implied that Bazu can't hop to another host after this.
Mm-hmm.
And also that he's literally the thing keeping her alive.
Yeah. So he was basically holding her hostage for selfish reasons.
It's fun.
I guess then the question is, do we actually tell her anything?
I don't know. I do believe that Bazu has genuine affection for her, though.
Well, I think he has the spirit's idea of affection, which is to say, half-hearted
Yeah, that's
and not
fair.
understanding how people work.
That's very fair.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, you know, it's either that or let Nara live in blissful ignorance for the rest of her life, which, you know, we don't know how long that will be.
And that is, I believe, the actual problem that we are dealing with.
Yeah. So one thing I will say is, if you guys do decide to have this conversation with Nara, if at any point you hear me say, halt, stop what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And that means you're probably...
That implies because that implies Bazu took over and Nara isn't hearing shit anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. It means you are going to be pulled into a private chat, or Kenzie is pulled into a private chat while this conversation continues.
Warning appreciated to make perfect sense.
Yeah, that completely checks out.
Yep, I will repeat warning when Wex comes on. Not when Kenzie comes back on. Anyway, everybody's starting to pop in. I know we have some kiddos going on. Would anybody like to give the recap while we wait for other people showing up? Because I think Dan is the one who needs the recap the most. And,
Oh, right, he doesn't really know that.
there's a lot of... There's a few things that happened
a lot.
last...
Oh, boy, there's a lot that happened.
This is really not the night for me to have to play catch up.
Oh, God. So,
We
fun
just
fact,
have
we
the-
remember the abomination from, fucking episode 2, because Izzy's a troll?
Mm.
The thing that could heal, had the super stretchy neck, and was, you know, the full alchemist dog girl nightmare?
Yeah.
We ran into that again, and it produced green goo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, of course it did. Everything produces
Of course it
green.
did!
I at least believe that the green goo is Spirazu because it didn't seem like it was the same green goo as Mother Glowworm, but...
Similar,
Yeah,
but not the same.
Yep, so probably not Mother Glowworm infesting this shit.
Probably.
What else? Kakan has, you know, graduated to talking to the Spy Master on camera, and apparently he's in town, and we're gonna go meet with him. Totaru went on a date for a little while, but it got interrupted because, oh god, revelations.
Yeah.
Am I missing much else?
I think... Dai Li.
Fuck,
Oh, right. The Dai Li is actively, like... If someone's trying to tell the Earth Kingdom what's really going on, the Dai Li is actively kidnapping them and throwing them in jail, at best.
There's no conflict in Boston. Say.
There's no conflict in the Earth Kingdom. Also, Wex, since you missed it, if at any point you're talking to Nara and you hear me say halt, just stop talking.
Got it.
It means somebody's getting pulled into a private chat. I don't know who, but somebody.
That's fair.
All right.
I will be a little in and I potentially will be a little in and out for the first 15 minutes, just to make sure Jillian has getting kids ready and stuff.
That is fine. All right. I'm going to just look through my notes very quickly. Otherwise, I hope everybody is ready for a very wonderful Avatar Day.
That's a way to put that.
Izzy describes things with words.
I do describe things with words.
Yeah.
Thanks, Izzy. I'm not sure you could have put that more ominously.
Oh, don't worry about it, guys. It's going to be a good day. You're going to have nothing but happiness tonight.
I hate it already.
It's not like I'm going to. It's not like I have any intention of dropping several bombshells on you tonight. It's going to be a very relaxed. It's going to be the Hot Springs episode.
Girl, how come
Yes, he's going to do what he does every night.
Girl, how come the webcam never picks you up?
Well, we are recording right now, so I don't know if you want to be on
What?
webcam.
I mean, not the webcam, the microphone. Never picks up the pitch of her voice.
Hello. Dark
Hello.
mode.
Tickle.
This is cool. I didn't know dark mode changed everything.
You change everything.
I do change everything.
Dark mode is terrible because it makes a lot of things really fucking hard to read.
It does. I'm also noticing that, for my macros at the bottom where I have my dice, it changes their size.
It's kind of funny that.
Oh,
20
yeah,
minutes
some of the
make,
fonts are
only
straight up
bad
different between dark mode and normal mode. It's infuriating.
I like it. All right. With that all being said and ready, I will give Kenzie 2 more minutes to pop in, and then we'll get officially started.
Hey.
Hello.
All right.
Speak of Nora.
Congratulations, Kenzie. You beat my deadline, which means the Earth Kingdom lives for one more day.
There is no conflict in the Earth Kingdom.
Darn.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Kenzie, is there anything you want to add as far as what happened last week? Because we just did the recap.
Ice cream.
Oh yeah, we had ice cream.
We did have
Ice cream did happen.
I want to know what Han's favorite flavor is.
Dan, what do you feel Han's favorite ice cream is? What does he enjoy and appreciate the most?
I don't really have an in-character answer, so I'm just, you know what? Something with salted caramel. Because that's what I like.
Sea salt ice cream?
No.
Oh.
No.
Never. Take a lap.
Be
Take
careful.
20 laps, Izzy.
Be careful what you wish for.
No one's wished for anything, Izzy.
You don't want me to take a lap?
Izzy.
Nora immediately wishes for tons of things.
Kenzie, what
Speak on my behalf.
does Nora wish for?
World peace.
Be careful what you wish for.
Ow. Don't. Okay, I got one. I wish you would not grant me this wish.
Done.
Paradox, Izzy. You're supposed to.
I wish for my dad to love me.
Oh!
Alright, so just talk to Thomas and
I'm
become a member.
sorry, we cannot process that wish at this time.
Please don't make that wish.
I wish I was the Avatar so my dad would love me.
What?
That wish
I
is
think
even
that's also
worse.
a bad wish.
Listen, I still think.
Can someone please put both of those wishes in the comments and we'll revisit them at the end of game?
Please don't.
No, actually. No.
Anyway, so picking up where we left off last time. I believe I said that it was getting later in the day. You had all reconvened after a hefty day's activities. Some of you ended up at the zoo. Rizik had gotten himself a part-time job at a nearby blacksmith. Kakan and Yura had kind of wandered from the wall back to the middle ring, and were exploring a little bit, seeing different sights.
And Han was off dealing with Franco's problems.
Han, yeah, we said you were called away on official Earth King business. for the day.
Alright.
Yeah.
Do you want me to elaborate on that, or do you not have headspace for it right now?
I frankly do not have headspace for it right now.
Okay. Long story short, officials from Bossing Say were coming in, and you were trying to get Frankdo's finances in order because you remember the mess that was made because of workers and whatnot. That is the short version, and we will hand wave as to you were taking steps to do that. We will go into that more in detail when you have better headspace for it.
Alright.
In the meantime, though, you have all ended up back at a hotel room purchased by Han for the evening. A couple of you mentioned you might want to do some Twilight activities. Otherwise, we can move on to the next day. But it is up to you guys, as said previously.
I don't remember anything that I'd wanted to do.
The tea shop.
I think I was on the fence about going to that.
Yep.
Well, a tea shop.
Don't
Don't
worry
you
about
like
it.
tea?
I feel worried.
The adult beverage shop.
Oh, okay, then I definitely want to go. I'm an adult. I'm a princess. Tell me I can't.
Oh,
I'll tell my daddy on you.
And this is
You're
when Nanny scoop. See, and this is why Mingwa is going to stay behind to keep Nara distracted and not following.
Mm-hmm. It's a useful role for someone to have. But, yeah, the tea shop, relative to the things that Han just got filled in on.
So it was good I was late then.
Yes.
Yep.
That worked then.
Alright, so for those of you who want to go to this place, I'm just going to say drag your icon up here near BB by the Southern Water Tribe. For
I
those,
need to learn how to exercise my rights as an Earth Princess to see what I can get out of people.
you really should. I mean, you can go out in the streets and demand people do shit for you. See where that gets you.
Mingwa definitely needs to chaperone if that's happening.
It didn't hurt me at all in that one LARP we played.
Which, where are we dragging them to?
If you want to go to the tea shop, drop... Not that image.
Ow!
Towards BB. Otherwise, stay over...
You
Otherwise,
said towards baby!
otherwise, stay by Hope.
You are not allowed to go.
Who's the group that is currently going to tea shop again?
It looks like Kakan is the first one.
I believe Yura was planning it.
Yura was debating whether or not it would be a good idea for her to go.
We back at full health.
Right. There was also the time limit on this one.
Yep.
There was a bit of a time limit and also the topics that are likely to be brought up.
Yeah. Kakan, you should be back at full HP. Nara, you should not. You just took that damage earlier today.
What damage should I take again?
That was from the green goo when you were seized
Oh, the
on.
goo, yeah, because I was playing with the goo. Forgot
were.
about the goo.
It might make sense for me.
I'm definitely immune to that goo.
You definitely.
It might make more sense for me to go try to find Samael to ask about the other spirit ore.
Right,
Yeah.
that was what Yura was going to do if she wasn't going to the tea shop, and probably would actually go and do if Kakan is heading to said tea shop.
Okay. Up to you guys. I need to know. I need to know now. If you're going up by
Yeah,
BB.
I know.
Also, there's now two of you, Kenzie. I'm deleting the smaller one.
Nice.
Only
realize
large
that was
Nara is
one I was
allowed,
supposed
not
to
small
move.
Nara.
I'm so curious, but I feel like it makes more sense for me to stay back with Nara.
You can go. I'll be perfectly fine on my own. I'm a big girl.
Yeah, I'm staying with you.
All right.
We know what happens when you're unchaperoned.
Wex, Dan, what about you guys? They're both still here, right?
Yeah,
I know I would be interested in seeing Han go.
Yeah, alright.
But I'll probably have to, and it seems like he probably would go once he finds out a little bit about why people are going.
Yeah. All right. Hotaru, Yura, you were the only two who have not spoken up.
I think I'm going to be joining Rizik for Samael.
Okay. Wex? Going once.
Every stepped away from kiddos again.
Going twice. All right. With that being
That means Hotaru finishes her date.
maybe. All right. Well, while Wex is out, I guess we will handle this. So, which group would like to go first? We can handle the babysitting. We can handle people going to Samael, or we can handle tea shop. Your guys' choice. Who's first?
Let's handle babysitting first, because I'll make decisions if
boy.
anyone else wants to.
Okay. I guess.
We need to know how many fires are lit before we do anything else.
Excuse you, I don't set fires. I have other people set them for me.
She is a princess now. All right. So Nara and Minghua, starting with you two yet again.
The dream team, as it were.
The dream team, as it were. Everybody has met up for the evening, and then some of the adults have gone their separate ways. But Nara, you find yourself with your loving goat gorilla nanny, who will never leave you.
Who's
What?
Wait, what? Who will never leave me? Why would you phrase it like that?
Good question. What would you like to do?
I'd like you to not phrase it like that.
And your loving goat gorilla nanny, who will someday die and leave you. Is that better?
No, that's not better.
And your loving goat gorilla nanny, whom you will outlive.
Just leave it at the first part.
And your loving goat gorilla nanny.
Yeah, that's fine. Just leave it at that part.
Amen.
Oh my god, is he?
Wow.
That sounds like busy.
I mean, we knew his goal was to traumatize Kenzie this session.
That's
Wait,
true.
what?
It's not my goal.
Nothing.
It's not my
Don't worry
goal.
about it.
It's not my goal this session. It's my goal this arc.
What the fuck?
It's not just you. I have 6 other people that I also have that goal for. That sounded like Ziggy breathing hard. That definitely
No, it
sounded.
was not me. It was not me.
Everyone needs to suffer.
Everyone needs to
Okay.
suffer equally.
Okay.
So Nara,
Okay.
Minghua, what do you two wish to do?
I would like to go see my people now that I figured out I'm an Earth Princess. So I want to go to the market, and I want to see all of the cool Earth Princess things that I didn't get to see in my old village.
So you're gonna go to the. You're gonna.
Time for a montage to make way for Prince Ali with the words redone.
I don't have money to throw people.
So you're gonna head to the night market since this is starting to hit evening.
Sure.
Okay.
You're yelling.
So you
Is that
and
my child or Wes's child?
who's yelling?
Probably your child, because I don't hear any.
It must
Yeah.
be my child then.
Likewise, yeah.
Sorry. Yep, that's my child. I can hear it on... Sorry, his baby monitor is set up so I can, like, look at it on my computer. So I'm hearing screaming and... Yeah.
You need to go deal with that. We can switch groups.
No, Gavin hasn't. He has not called for me yet, so in theory I do not have to deal with that. It's bath time. Bath time is hard sometimes.
Beth,
Are you sure you have a child and not a cat?
No. Okay,
Cats
so
and
we're gonna
toddlers
go...
can be-
We're gonna
cats
go
and
to the
toddlers
night
can be
market.
real.
All right. So
And I want to go look at the pretty jewelry because, boy oh boy, my Earth King daddy owes me a pretty necklace.
Oh no, we're totally ending the night getting arrested, aren't we?
all right.
Almost certain.
Why would we be arrested? I'm an Earth Princess.
So Nara,
My dad's good for it.
as you and Minghua kind of like head again.
Wait, what the hell is Han's last name?
Good question. Aren't you a good daughter and you would know your father's last name?
His name's Dad. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah. So
shit. Han, what's your last name?
The weird part is I
I
feel
don't
like we
fucking remember.
talked about this a dozen episodes ago. or
We
something.
have. I actually know what Han's last name is.
Well, you're the fucking DM. Of course you know what his name
I didn't
is.
write his last name.
I probably have it in the Google Doc somewhere. Hold on.
All right. So anyway,
So actually, Han, I probably have a last name.
it's also on your character sheet, Han.
Where on my character sheet?
I don't think I have a last name. I guess it's whatever my dad's last name is.
Yeah, you.
Catch.
On the hero tab where it says your full name.
Bio and info.
Oh, here we go.
There you.
Why are you so quiet?
Goes by Han Bahon.
Bahan or Bahan?
Bahon.
Bahon.
B-A-H-O-N.
Okay. Han Bahon. Okay.
Yep. All right.
Sure.
So you guys find yourselves into
How
this.
quickly does news of a new Earth King spread?
That's a good question. Roll me a skill since you would know to tell. If you
Would Nara really know to even think about that?
Intuition.
sure, intuition plus untrained.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Nara's probably used to using ruse for pranks.
3.
Yeah, that's actually reasonable.
Would you like to pass with a major twist,
pass,
or would you like to with a major
I
twist?
mean, a major twist here is hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah. Take a major twist here.
So as you make your way into the night market, you hear people talking, and again, this is a wide open square with a fountain that is presently turned off, and there's lots of shops nearby. Most of the shops themselves are closed down. You've got like a thatcher, you have a woodworker, carpentry shop, you've got a blacksmith shop. Those are all closed down, but there are people who have stands and stalls that are set up in this street surrounding the fountain. Think kind of like a farmer's market, but at night. So it's a night market.
Oh, this is fresh and new for me. My village definitely did not have a night market.
Yeah, no, there are torch lights surrounding the area, so it's still very well lit. There's a lot of people, though, with the setting sun and the moon that is ever present. Most people are, bundled up in cloaks, trying to keep a little bit of warmth, because it is getting a little bit chillier in the evening. And you...
Would I have been taught about stranger danger?
I don't know, would you have?
I did run away with 6 strangers. So
Definitely not. And as you're listening around talking, it seems like there's a lot of people talking in this night market, in hushed voices. And you're hearing whispers about the Earth King. And clearly that news has gotten out at this point, and they're clearly talking about your father and what an amazing individual he is. Clearly.
As is his due.
As is his due. Which means if they know him, they've got to know exactly who you are and bend to your every whim. Enjoy your major twist.
What? Okay.
You think that they know exactly who you are and will do exactly what they tell you.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, let's put it this way: there's multiple Earth Kings.
True. Alright, well, I am going to go up... When did we have that ice cream? How long ago was that ice cream?
Probably like an hour ago.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Okay, so I'm probably not hungry. I was going to say, I was going to go up and get an apple, demand an apple from somebody. Okay, I am going to go up to the clothing booth, or the clothing hut, and I want a new robe because I am an Earth Princess and I deserve to look pretty.
Are you saying all that directly to this elderly woman who is sewing things together while sitting on a stool by her stand?
No, so I'm gonna
Hello, dear. How can I help you, dearie?
Hi! So, I am new in this city, but my father is the Earth King, and so I need a really pretty dress so that we can go to a really fancy party. And your clothing looks the best out of all of the clothing that I've seen so far. So I was wondering if you'd be willing to make a dress for the Earth Princess.
Your father is the Earth King, you say?
Yeah! Han Bahan. What the fuck name is that, Dan?
I was trying to figure out a somewhat silly alias when he changed his name after running away from the air running away from the air massacre.
So it's supposed to sound stupid. Got it.
Yes.
Damn my dice. Oh,
Does she fall for it?
of course, dearie. Let me size you up. I'll have the finest robe. I will use some of my imported silks for you.
So much. I'll definitely have one of the servants come down and pick it up later.
If I could just take your measurements, dearie.
I look at Minghua and go, no looking. She has to take measurements.
Mingwa puts one hand in front of the eyes.
I just start chattering to this old lady about how my dad is the Earth King, and Frankto was my grandpa, and he was a really cool Earth King, and he would give everybody loads and loads of money. And I'm gonna not say anything about him being a spirit, but I'm definitely gonna skirt around it and maybe forget who I'm talking to, because I just haven't had a lot of people to talk to recently.
Oh yes,
So I'm gonna start telling her about some of our adventures.
Your grandfather was such a wonderful Earth King, and your father is doing an. She's going to say, like, nervously looking over her shoulders, an outstanding individual. Minghua, you can roll me awareness using your min die since you're covering your eyes.
Oh boy, hang on. Oh, I'm smart. I didn't have my sheet open.
But yeah, no, she's going. She's hanging on to every word you're saying, Nara.
I'm telling her, you know, a light overview of our adventures so far, and I'm going to tell her about our adventuring party and how cool all my uncles and aunts are.
Okay.
Nara tells good stories.
Nara might remember that Yura gave her a fake name to use in this regard.
I probably don't, because I don't.
She already introduced herself as Nara the Earth Princess, so she definitely did.
You told me to use a fake name?
Yes.
This was a long time ago.
Yeah, there's no way that you would.
Yeah, there's no way Nara would. I figured Nara likes lying enough that maybe.
So, Minghua, would you like that twist?
This is
Let's
fine.
twist it up, baby.
I will not take that twist. I will totally
Aw.
get surprised by the Dai Li.
We don't know that.
Surprised you will be. I'm going to put you guys on pause for now. Who would like to go next?
Oh, you don't want to see me
We're
get
in
kidnapped by the Dai Li?
danger.
Can't believe I have to put my first note of they're in danger again.
What?
Yeah.
Me and Minghua?
Logical.
Really though?
Why would we be in
The number of
danger?
Look, the number of fires is currently 0. We could have been worse.
Yep.
I just want pretty clothes.
Huh.
Why is everyone trying to prevent me from getting pretty clothes in these rags that I've been forced to wear this whole time?
Ningwa's helping. Ningwa is very helping.
You're very helpful, dear.
I do love being part of the Chaos Crew.
All right, who's next? Would we like to be
We
the...
decided we would be good babysitters for each other.
I have no idea.
Literally no one. You decided
Actually,
that on your own.
you, because you nominated me as nanny and so on.
Oh, well, because you went with me and Han. That's how that happens.
Yep.
Hey, it was a Galaxy Brain choice, and I've been loving it since.
Wex, you back yet? Did you decide which group you want to go with? Not hearing Wex, I will move on.
Wex wants to come with Chaos Group, surely.
So Rizik and Yira or Kakan and Han? Who would like to take it next? Are we doing T-Shop or are we doing Samael?
Do we want to talk about weapons or maybe something other than weapons?
Do I have to leave if it's going to T-Shop?
No, the T-Shop would be coming with me.
Let's go to the Lotus.
Yeah, the rest of us would have to go listen to it later.
Alright, so... okay, Lotus then. So, Rizik and Yira.
Lotus.
Yep. Do you guys remember where Samael was hiding? Or where Samael ended up?
Wasn't he still in the hospital?
That is correct. So yeah, you guys managed to make your way back to the hospital. And you find his room without any issue. He's in there. He's with a few of the other White Lotus members. Arashi's there. Akasaka's kind of standing by the door, playing checkers with Stone Jim Wei. Yukie is, presently not there. And, Shibu is kind of just like in the corner, punching a... looks like she got one of those boxing bags brought up somehow. But like they're all just kind of sitting. None of them appear to be injured. They're just being... They're being kept for observation kind of thing to make sure no one's still hyper exhausted. But yeah.
Guess we'll go over and say hello.
To
ask how they're doing. General niceties.
Yep. General niceties will be returned.
And then I will ask Samael whether or not he has any spare door.
He's gonna look at you with a narrowed eye, and he's gonna kind of look around you, like head tilted to one side, to like try to make eye contact with Stone Jin Wei. Unfortunately, Stone Jin Wei is just like getting increasingly angry at Akasaka, who is like, you can literally see the steam pouring out of this guy's ears as he is trying to figure out where to move his next checker. It's one of those guys who's like, moving it this way, nope, slowly inching it back to the previous square, and doing that repeatedly. We've all played against that person in a board game.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, we have.
Yep, we know what
and-
All
the
that
is
work
like.
you to implement timers and touch rules.
Yeah, and he's just like... So yeah, Stone Jin is preoccupied, mostly due to anger and partially to the game, so he's not paying attention. Samuel's going to look up at you and just be like, we found a little bit more when we were at the library last go-around. I think you guys got some too, no?
Yeah, but wanted to talk to you, see how much, if you had any spare that you weren't using, because probably going to need to make a few pieces of equipment with it. I probably also need to get help from your team with that, because we don't have a waterbender on ours.
Yeah, he's just going to look over to Rashi, who's thumbing through a book, but, is going to look up at you guys. Still, like, half reading his book, but, like, he heard his name. He's paying attention now. And Samuel's just be like, I don't think it's going to be an issue, but what are you guys trying to make?
Well, one thing that definitely would be making would be a new sword, and then I actually wanted to know how much material we had, and then I would start I'd start working on some weapon blueprints to see what we can actually use with the material on hand.
Well, depending on if you're making weapons, you can't make it purely out of the spirit ore. You need to kind of like make an infusion. Like you can't make something out of just pure spirit ore; it's too brittle. So you need to make composites.
Yeah,
so if you have a sword base or can reforge one, you'd probably just need to like infuse the blade with the spirit ore if you're intending to fight spirits.
That is the intent. Would this work? Do you know whether or not this would work? And Yura's going to just hand him the sword that she's been carrying this entire time.
Let's make a roll. He's going to.
Sorry.
He's going to look at it and say, I mean, you could work this. You'd probably have to melt parts of it down and reshape it, but I don't think that's going to be a problem for you. Saying that directly to you, Rizek, because I'm pretty sure you've outed yourself as a metal bender to at least...
Oh yeah, in front of these guys, there have been several things...
Yeah, not the entire team, but definitely to Samael and Arashi. And he's like, this wouldn't require a lot to become, well, effective against spirits. What else were you planning on making?
Well, depending on how much material there was, wanted to... Not going to be making anything at, like, level of tank, but I wanted to see how much I had to work with first before I started working on blueprints.
Well, he's only got like a couple of small fragments left, like a fistful. I'm gonna say you have the equivalent of like, think 3 gold bars as a size, whereas he has like, a handful of like, shattered dust kind of thing, which he keeps in a pouch.
Okay, so
He's gonna say half of one of those bars would probably be enough to make that sword effective against spirits.
okay, so that then gives 2.5 bars to work with. Have you done any experiments with the imbuing the power of a spirit or element, or where energy bending would come into that?
I mean, you can use different signs, the same stuff we've been studying in the library, and you can try to give it different characteristics, make it stronger. But imbuing elements, that's normally just going to come from the bender themselves.
Okay. What exactly was being referred to with energy bending when it came up in the research again?
He didn't fully understand that.
Yeah, I got that it was the thing that... I got some stuff on it, but, like, not a lot on it.
Roll me... I'm going to say roll me a thing so I can give you the big hint you need. Roll me lightning calculator. Yeah, lightning calculator and other rolling methods work.
Can I use Principle of Discovery?
Sure. Also, don't forget you're in yellow.
Okay, I did forget we were in yellow, so... Otherworldly mythos, lightning calculator. Because Thomas knows what energy bending is.
Sure. +1.
Thomas did not roll well. So that will
8.
be a 9 total.
Oh, a 9. Even better. So energy bending is you're literally manipulating the spirit ore and giving it properties that would resemble or reflect bending. In the context of imbuing it into materials. Energy bending itself is, manipulation of the natural chi within a person's body to give them their bending. Which I believe you would have swapped some notes on this with, I think Hotaru was the one that did that research in the library. And you
potentially do have some of the research from the library written down, but there wasn't a lot mentioned on energy bending that got me in character notes.
Yeah, I mean, from that role and like putting 2 and 2 together, energy bending is something that lion turtles have done in the past to give people their bending, hence the gift givers, hence how you got your bending. But like imbuing the energy properties into spirit ore is possible and would result in people having temporary access to a bending type, as long as they had the object on hand. But it wasn't really detailed out well. However, you've seen this done in person.
Yep, so that gives a lot of explanation on stuff there.
Yeah.
I thought we'd seen a variant in person because the rings that absorb things that are nearby, as opposed to having innate stuff of their own.
Yes, you've seen a variation on that. I should have said, but you have seen things made of spirit ore able to bend, but you've also seen that those things that were made were also variable. So.
Okay. I'm then going to ask what they were planning to use their spirit ore for.
He's just gonna say repairs. We get into a lot of scrapes with spirits. Sometimes our weapons and armor break down, and I need to repair it.
That makes sense. I might be able to do some of those repairs with just the material on hand without needing to make more.
I mean, that would require all of us to join forces, and I don't know if your group likes our group in its entirety, and vice versa.
That is very fair. So, I guess maybe then just the help with refining the spirit ore might be if your if you and Arashi would be willing.
He's just gonna nod, look over. Arashi is gonna very quickly, glance up from his book again, and just say, "Name the time and place, and we'll be there."
Thank you.
And I'm gonna say, as you guys are heading out the door, you are going to hear Akasaka's voice say, "King me!" And just say, "It took you 10 minutes to figure that out?"
And I don't remember Akasaka being that dumb.
They're doing just great.
Yep.
Akasaka has not been smart in this game at any
Yep.
point. All right. With that being said, I will ask for one last time. Hey, Wex, you back yet? Okay. We're going to move on to the tea shop. So, Han and Kakan, would you guys mind coming with me for a bit?
Oh boy.
Into game time.
Oh boy. Have fun, you two.
Say goodbye.
Don't burn down the tea shop.
Burn it to the ground.
So
All-
we're burning down the tea shop?
You're gonna.
Yeah, we're totally burning down the future.
Alright, so why are we going to a tea shop?
All right. So, as you would have very quickly, actually, Ziggy, why don't you explain this, since you're the one walking there to him with him?
Let's see, about the adult tea shop or about
Why are
no,
you? Why are you guys presently heading to the Pow family tea shop?
jeez.
You don't remember?
Vaguely. You're better off giving the more details than I am.
Okay. So, Yira would have mentioned to you that, you remember everything that they told you about, Nara, correct?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. The Pow family tea shop is where Yira, overheard, the, cabbage merchant saying he was going to go enjoy some tea.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yep. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So, Dan, do you know where this is going? I'll let Ziggy explain the rest of this.
Sure.
Because if Dan's currently confused, he's got to be. Han would also currently be confused. So,
As I understand it, you brought on Nara somewhat under strange circumstances, yes?
We didn't have a whole lot of choices at the time, yeah.
Yes. Well, as it so happened, while we were in the city earlier today, we found that there was a man that was, railing against the policies of the Earth Kingdom, shall we say. And that man happened to be a local cabbage merchant. A cabbage merchant who claimed to have lost his daughter 10 years ago.
Okay.
That man is now currently, most likely, being targeted by the Daily.
That would make sense.
He does not know that Nara yet lives. We are processing how to deal with that information, seeing as the spirit that currently holds her hostage is also keeping her alive.
Right. And if she were to meet her dad, there's no telling what Bazu would do.
Indeed. Most likely kill himself and her out of spite. He has been shielding Nara from the cruelties of her situation, the loss of her home, as well as her loved ones. He believes that to keep her in blissful ignorance is preferable to an early end.
Right. The problem is, because he thinks that way, we do have to act delicately. We can't afford to set him off in the wrong direction.
Indeed. So, we currently head to this tea house, seeing as you have a closer relationship to Nara than the rest of us. Perhaps it may be wise for you to speak with him yourself.
I mean, I can try, but frankly, I don't even know what I would say. I don't know what reason he'd have to even believe me.
You know things about her that you don't.
Somewhat, but she still has a lot of secrets.
It is very clearly apparent.
And of course, for every secret she has, Bazu is keeping several more from her and us.
It's still unclear what form of spirit Bazu is. Nevertheless, he holds Nara's life in his hands, or lack thereof, as the case may be.
So, as you guys converse in hushed voices, walking through the middle ring of Ba Sing Se, middle city where the merchants go, you find yourself coming closer to the lower wall. It separates the middle city from the lower city. Still a nice part of town, but definitely getting a little bit shabbier than where you guys were staying and where the hospital was located. Since it's so close to this lower wall, looks like things are a little bit dirtier. People are, a little bit more secretive, eyeing you suspiciously as you wander by. But you eventually find yourselves at the doors of this little shop, the Pow Family Tea House. And brightly lit interior, you can see the light shining through the front door, as well as a couple of the windows on the exterior. And what catches your attention immediately is, despite this being the bad part of town, but not the slums of the lower city, there's the smell of refuse in the air. But now as you approach this tea shop, you have all these herbal aromas entering your nostrils. And as you approach the door, it just seems even more inviting against the cold of the night. You open it up, the doors, and inside there are several patrons. Each quietly enjoying some tea. There are a couple people who look like they've probably had too much of something that is not tea. And Kakan, off in one corner, you recognize the graying merchant that you had met just earlier this afternoon, slowly sitting down, little clay pot in front of him, slowly lifting a glass to his lips, blowing on it, and then taking a few sips. You would recognize the cabbage merchant who claimed to be Nara's father. As you guys enter, kindly make me an awareness check. Okay. An 8 and a 6.
4.
Oh, 8 and a 4. I'm sorry. I thought that was a higher number. Ooh.
Yeah, all good.
Okay. So one thing you both notice immediately, Kakan, as you especially pick up on this as you're walking into the tea shop, you very quickly glance outside, and you notice the moon is rapidly starting to set. Like, it was up high at its zenith throughout most of your walk over to this area, but now it is just, like, plummeting at what would be an alarming rate, except you've seen it set and rise at this rapid pace for the past couple of days. So, less surprising at this point, but it is getting dark very quickly as you enter this tea shop. Han, you see the same thing, but as the moon is quickly setting and shadows are growing longer, you quickly glance around, the air tingling your senses because it's your natural bending type, and you notice some vibrations in the air. Looking around, you notice that there are a couple of pairs of eyes in the shadows, belonging to men in wide-brimmed hats who are staying close to the shadows, hoping not to draw attention to themselves. Group of 6 of them. And look there, and then you kind of head into the tea shop.
Okay.
Would you like more description on those guys, or do you get where that's going?
I get what the wide brim hats are. Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Kakan will just sort of subtly nod towards the merchant. That's him.
All right. I'm going to kind of like very very quietly whisper to Kakan. The Daily seem to be watching us. We may need to move the McCabbage merchant soon.
Shall we speak to him then?
Yeah.
Kakan will approach the merchant.
Are you both approaching, or just you, Kakan?
Would you prefer to speak to him, or would I?
I mean, I think it's fine for both of us to say hello. I mean, he was.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess one thing that's not quite clear: was he expecting us at all, or were we just like going to find him?
I think he was expecting us.
He was not.
He was.
Yura told him.
That's right. Yeah.
Yura told him to go and enjoy some tea at a shop to get him to leave the square earlier, and then after she did that, several people were dragged off by the Daily.
Right.
So my actual question to you guys is, why are you here right now?
I mean, I'm of the opinion of telling her father the truth.
Okay.
That's just me.
Okay.
Kind of trying to get more information about Nara, quite frankly, and then also hopefully trying to keep this guy from getting whisked away.
Fair enough. All right. As you are, and so are you guys going to be approaching together? Is one of you going over to talk to him? How are you handling this?
It may be more prudent for you to approach. If I do, then my stature may cause alarm.
He's seen you before.
He has, but I didn't talk to him.
That's fair. Okay. I'm going to handle this next round, but if Han, you're going to be the one who's approaching Kakan, where are you going? Just to another table? Are you going by a wall? Ziggy?
Oh, I'm going to, there's like a counter or something, right?
Yeah, there's like a little bar area up front.
Then I'm going to do the natural thing and get some tea.
Okay, sounds good. I will handle the rest of this next round because don't want to keep us isolated from everybody for too long. So let's drag ourselves back in to general.
Okay. Cool.
Oh my god.
This looks amazing is not a sentence I ever thought I'd hear in my life.
So I'm playing a Moemon thing. Where all the Pokemon look like little
Okay.
girls.
Going
Yeah.
back.
Well, that's good to hear. Hey, Wex, you back yet?
Nor
Okay, then.
Hold on.
Rex has been
Cappy.
killed by his children.
More than likely.
Yeah, we'll just hand it to Hotaru as, actually finishing out that date.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Mhm.
Everyone needs to look at my Bidoof.
Do.
Look at that shit.
Uh,
It's like Belle.
Huh.
Wow.
So,
It's got a crown.
so speaking of Earth Kingdom formal wear, Kenzie,
Oh boy.
Are we looping back?
we are in fact on the next section of yellow. So, which group would like to go next?
100% believe that my father can afford this, so,
I mean, are we going back to Team Dressmaker?
We
if
might
you
as
want
well.
to. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm down.
Okay. Minghua and Nara, you guys are still at the night market. I actually don't remember where I left us hanging. So much has happened. But I believe Nara...
You had me do an awareness check, and it's fine.
Yep, everything's fine.
I think I accidentally rolled for green, but I got 2 1s, so what the fuck ever. You were having me do mid-die.
Yeah.
Gibble.
So, Kenzie, you finish getting measurements, and, this lady promises that she will have these wonderful silk satins made up for you in the prettiest little dress you've ever seen.
Oh, thank you.
You're so welcome, princess. Anything to help the royal family. It's not...
Thank
but
you.
It's not...
My
but-
daddy will hear about this, I'm sure.
Oh,
He'll be very pleased.
Oh, I thank you. It's been such tough times, but I'm sure your father will show be very happy with the results. I'm confident of that.
Good. We don't want to have anybody being called to your shop if we're displeased about it, would we?
Mingwald drops the hand from over his eyes to give Nora a what the fuck stare.
Been princess for less than a day, and she's already a Zula.
Yeah,
And
Like-
she is
Well-
already abusing her authority.
like no,
To be fair, she was like this before she became a princess.
no, of
Remember what? I want to invite you to scroll back through the quote channel to see you talking about your kid army with he dies, and if he snitches, he's dead. You were already
say
like
that?
this.
Yeah,
Yes.
you said
Yeah,
that. Yeah. She's like, of course not, princess. No, it'll be the finest work I've ever made. I promise.
Good. Then I'm very happy to recommend you to all the other nobles that I run into.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Great. Now we need to go find some jewelry to go with this wonderful dress that you'll be delivering.
Totally getting arrested.
Well, there's one way you're winding up in the palace.
Yep. All right.
I mean, they're delivering it to the palace, so there's just going to be a dress that shows up with a bill.
You just said you would send one of your servants to pick it up.
Oh, I did. Never mind.
Yeah.
Right. Then I will have a servant pick it up.
Okay. Where
Alright.
are you headed to now?
I don't know. Meanwhile, where do you want to go?
I mean, you did say jewelry.
Yeah, let's go look at jewelry.
Okay. Okay. So not really so much jewelry per se. That would be actually more like a high-end artisan shop, which is closed during the night. You do find a couple of stalls that are like, hawking like, knickknacks and like, pretty little things like shells on, strings and whatnot. Make me an awareness check, the two of you.
That's always
I
something.
I like my awareness checks, guys.
Clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I only got a minor twist this time.
I'm gonna fail that.
You're gonna fail that? Okay.
Well, yeah, you're looking at Chinese.
So Minghua,
Very distracted.
as you are lumbering over behind Nara, you hear from the corner, "Hey, psst, you. Hey, you. Kid.
Am I about to be kidnapped?
I do look at the source of the voice.
You said you're looking for jewelry, right? It's this individual in a long trench coat. And he's like,
Nope. We are hustling her away from this as fast as possible.
I look very confused.
You want to buy a sundial?
that's where I was going with this. Yeah.
Oh,
I knew it the
fucking
second.
gift.
I assumed.
There it is.
But Ming
I
was
was
just
trying
like,
to
"Oh."
find one of the help I'm being kidnapped gifts, but I'm only finding actual serious kidnappings.
Yeah.
Dan, is that supposed to be me, you bastard?
Yes, it is.
I'm not blonde.
You're being an
You could
Osho,
be.
so it counts.
You want to buy a sundial? It is pretty.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm Princess Anya.
Anya is far
You
too
bet
nice
your-
Oh.
You bet your ass I'm Princess
Yeah,
Anya.
no, yeah, Anya's far too sweet. Absolutely not.
How dare you? I'm a sweet, adorable child.
You are a menace to society.
What? I feel attacked.
Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah. So yeah, as you guys wander around, you eventually come up to this. It looks like it's built kind of out of the side of a carriage, but there's this one big stall which says curiosities on it. And
All these kidnapping gifts are real sketch.
you went to the night market.
Fine.
But yeah, no, there's curiosities written on the top of it, and there's a man standing in front of it, and there's just all these weird baubles and knickknacks on his shop, and he's like, Missy, how can I help you?
Depends on what you have.
What are you looking for?
I don't know yet. Something interesting.
Something interesting, you say? Can I interest you in this? And he's going to pick up this square box with a single latch on it.
What's in it?
Only those who open it will find out.
Uninteresting.
Uninteresting, you say? He's going to wander over and pick up a bag of a bear. He's going to pick up a bear and hand you a bear.
Like a bear cub or a stuffed bear?
Looks like a stuffed bear.
Now this is what I'm talking about. I love
that's
stuffed
weird.
animals.
It's
That's weird. It's just a bear? That doesn't make sense.
it's just a bear. Only in Ba Sing Se would you ever find a creature such as this.
Wow, really?
Not half platypus, not half armadillo, just a bear.
I look at
Where's this
Ming-Hua and I go, and I give him like puppy dog eyes, and I'm like, oh, can I keep it? This is what I want.
I'm squinting at
This
this thing very
stuffed
suspicious.
animal.
You're squinting
I'm
at the.
squinting suspiciously, but also like, yeah, you can have it.
Who are you squinting at?
I'm squinting at the bear because that's weird.
Its button eyes squint back at you.
They moved?
Oh, they didn't move. They squinted. Like the fabric around these button eyes kind of like engulfs the eyes until the buttons were no longer circular. They just like two little slits. So it's squinting back at you.
I just reach out and poke it very gently.
Ha
The stuffed animal talks!
It does, dearie. It does many wondrous things.
Izzy, I think I hate you right now.
Why?
It's
Reasons is a good reason to hate Izzy.
Alright, I'm not gonna do the worst possible version of this GIF, but there we go.
I gotta see this now.
It's just Ted.
It's just, yeah.
There are many worse GIFs of Ted.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I like my bear that I found.
Yeah.
I sent Izzy a "Don't you fucking dare," which means he might.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's Izzy.
It's Izzy.
I wasn't thinking that, but now.
Exactly.
You've given him an idea, Laura. Why would you do that?
Because it's entertaining.
Yep.
Oh boy.
You know, it just it squints back at you. And then when you
I was gonna look at Nora like, really? This one?
if you
Well,
want,
which one would you pick?
if you want, I have many other curiosities, like these bag of seeds.
Seeds.
Seeds, yes. Taken from
That sounds boring.
taken from an ancient tree that possessed mystical qualities. Seeds that can change the very fabric of everything you know.
Seeds.
He's going to say.
Mingwa yawns.
He's going to
I
say.
hate gardening.
Okay.
Is this supposed to be like the seeds for the spirit tree or something in the fucking spirit world?
If you. Do you want to look at them, or are you just saying no?
Sure,
And he's
I will.
he's
I
going.
will actually look at them.
He's going to open up this bag slightly, and you look in, and you see all these golden little marbles. They look kind of like Mancala beads.
I'm gonna see if Bazu recognizes them at all.
Roll me another worldly mythos check for Bazu.
Dude, that's shit. That, and we're in yellow.
You are in yellow.
6.
6. I don't know what those are, Kit. They got some weird energy to them. Best keep
They
away.
have energy to him though.
Yeah, I mean, everything in this stall's got that.
Huh. Should we go away from this stall then, do you think?
Yeah. Could be fun, could be dangerous, could be both.
Alright. I'm gonna sign language to Mingwa, weird energy on the seeds.
I'm gonna respond, cool, let's leave.
Alright then. I'm going to put the bear down and say, I'll have a servant come pick this up later.
Ah, unfortunate. It was not destined for a servant.
I'm putting it on hold.
If you want it, take it now.
I told you I would have somebody come pick it up later. I'm not about to have it stolen in this market.
Ah, yes. Fear of having something taken away from you is often the thing that will prevent you from ever having it in the first time, little one.
I signed to Mingwa. This man's weird. Let's leave.
Yep, Nora is getting picked up and given a piggyback ride away.
I flip the man the bird as we leave.
That's not
Wow.
very.
Or whatever
Oh,
obscene,
That's
Oh,
not.
whatever
also
obscene
use a
hand
free
gesture
hand.
is equivalent in Avatar.
That's not fair.
Mingwa's
As you're.
Mingwa has flipped her multiple times, so it's, canon, at least within our game, and also Mingwa using a free hand to do the same.
Okay, as you both flip off, turn, and walk away, you're just going to hear from behind you, "Not very nice, Mingwa and Nara."
Mingwa whoops back around at that point.
Stall is gone. Lying on the ground, rattling, you see a very familiar looking mask.
Ask.
Mask.
Oh boy.
I'm confused.
Off
What
topic.
mask?
Off topic.
Are you... What
I'm
mask?
He's posting something.
Okay, sorry.
What?
What?
Fuck you, Izzy.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy again.
Again,
Has
we
he
have not
popped up?
run into this person yet.
Yes, we have the Majora's
Have we?
Mask. He's the
I-
one that
Yeah,
works for the
salesman.
moon.
I do not think I've met this
Right,
person.
yes, I remember now.
The guy who works for the moon
I don't think
Oh.
I've met this person.
and took the ghosts
Yeah, this was
away.
this was before Kakan joined, but yeah, I remember that now.
Alright, well, it's probably a good thing we didn't fucking take anything from him then.
Hey, don't you trust the moon?
No! The moon has a grudge against the spirit that lives inside me. I'm good.
Was just going to sign into the air on the off chance the spirit's listening, or you're still watching. Did you ever find the moon? Since people said it went missing.
I think
What
it's
else?
just that we didn't take any of his treasures.
As you feel like this cold night air kind of bristly brush against the fur on the back of your neck, causing it to stand on end, Minghua, you hear through your ears, though you can't see the source of this melodic voice that just kind of creeps in. Stopped looking. She's in the sky, she's not in the sky. Doesn't matter anymore.
Very poor customer service.
I can be free now.
Uh-oh.
I hate that!
I think this one might have flipped or be in the process of flipping. And
Yeah, that
that's
sounds
not
like
great.
it. That's bad.
Probably a good thing we didn't take any of his weird shit then.
Anyway, moving on. Who would like to go next? I'll ask again. Hey, Wex, you back yet?
Yes.
Yes, actually. I'm sorry. I had to step away for something very important.
No. I completely
No worries, you're fine.
I completely understand. Did you want to be a part of one of the other groups, meaning this group in the night market? Yira and Rizik had gone to go speak to the White Lotus, or Han and Kakan had gone to the tea shop.
So wait, what's each group trying to do?
One group went to go
Night
talk.
Market is having funsies and learning about being an Earth Princess. The group talking to the White Lotus is doing spirit or stuff, and the group at the tea shop is doing stuff.
Which group does Han go with?
The tea shop. You should know what that means.
I do. I think the tea shop.
Okay.
Aw, you don't want to join us at the night market?
Alright,
I'm
Kakan.
having pretty dress robes made.
Kakan and Han just assume that Hotaru was quietly trailing you guys throughout that conversation.
Okay.
With that being said, who would like to go next? Rizik and Yura or Tea Shop?
Do we have anything more to do besides, I don't know, you had other ideas for stuff to do eventually.
Yeah. I mean, I'm giving you guys this option mostly just to clear up the thing that you have a ultimatum for, which I'm probably resolving this round. So.
Fucking useless.
So up to you guys. Rizik, Yura, do you guys want to do anything, or?
I mean, I'd probably want to go wherever we're planning to meet up with the rest of the party, and then start working on blueprints and sketching out designs.
Okay.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Okay, I'll let you actually roll a boost for yourself for when you're actually going to be crafting this that you can use later on.
Okay. Thomas will assist so I can give myself my boost roll a boost. That is just a +1.
He's a D4. That's the most you're getting out of him is a 2 at this point.
Yeah.
So.
I probably should actually use a former weapons inventor, shouldn't I?
That's entirely up to you.
Well, like, technology is the better die, but this is me actually working on a weapon.
Then yeah, weapons would probably make more sense.
So. There's no difference between a 10 and an 11, is
Nope,
Correct.
no difference.
so that is a 10.
Okay. So give yourself a +3 when you're actually going to be crafting these things, and we'll see how good they are when that turns around.
Yeah, that's basically it for what I have.
Okay, Yura, anything on your end?
I was gonna say, can I help Rizik at all through, I mean, it's gonna be my weapon, infused with fire, help with heat, with controlling heat.
He's only making blueprints right now, so he is giving himself a boost for that. later on.
Like, we are going to need the entire party when we are making this, seeing as how you need each bending.
Yeah.
Yep, well, I will help with the boost for now, I guess, because I don't have that much else to do besides wander to the Earth Cave and meditate, and I want to bring at least one other person with me for that.
Oh, I'd be up for going and meditating after because I want to figure out some stuff, but, like, I figured this was the most relevant thing to do next.
Let's do that with our next action, then. As soon as things go to red, like always.
Yeah.
Here, have a boost. That's a 6.
6 would have been a +2, which would have bumped your...
to 12.
Yep. Okay, so instead, that's going to be a +4 boost on your next go-around. I will say retro.
When I finally get to it, it's going to be a while.
Yeah. All right. With that being said, you three, come with me.
It makes more sense to
Actually, the
just
people
finish
can-
this in one go.
The Earth King people or the Tea people?
The Tea people. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just going to finish this now. So you three
Okay.
come with me.
Okay.
Did I get all of you? Oh, I'm missing Han. Okay, there we go. You all ready?
Yep.
All right, so when you entered this, again, warm, inviting tea shop, Kakan, you went over and kind of sat at a bar to order yourself some tea. Hotaru,
Yeah.
this is not quite the bad part of town, but it's very close to the lower city. It's right where the wall would be. The tea shop is warm and inviting. The outside area is very suspicious, and you guys did just see 6 Dai Li outside.
Oh, wonderful.
Han is heading towards the cabbage merchant to speak with him. He has himself a nice cup of tea and is currently drinking from it. Kakan has gone to the bar area and is ordering himself some tea. Are you going to go with Han? Are you going to go with Kakan? Or are you going to go find a table to sit by yourself?
I mean, I think spreading out is probably the best thing. I'm going to sit by myself. I guess wait to order tea and try to keep an eye, both with my eyes and my other senses, on what the Dai Li are doing.
Fair enough. Can I just ask you to make me an awareness check now?
Yes. And I am going to use Principle of Great Power.
Okay, I will mark that down.
Let's see. Awareness, alertness. We're in green?
You are currently in yellow.
Oh, alright. Cool.
7. Okay.
7. Wish I had higher, but...
Alright, a 7 is a 7. I will keep that in mind as this unfolds.
Actually... I'm gonna keep it.
Okay. Alright, so, Han, you're heading on over to this guy. I'm going to say, just for ease of my life, Hotaru and Kakan, you've placed yourselves in spots where you can easily overhear their conversation, but it's still private enough where other patrons won't be able to hear it.
Okay.
So, Han, you're walking up towards this guy, and he's just sitting back, enjoying his tea, and as you approach his table, he's just going to kind of look up at you with a little bit of a curious look on his face. Can I help you?
Hey, yes. Come to think of it, do we know this guy's name?
No one ever asked for his name.
No.
Hey.
Yeah.
He's just the cabbage merchant.
Yep.
Look, you don't know me, but I think you've met some of my companions. I'll kind of gesture to Kakan.
Oh, I recognize the big fella. He was with that nice middle-aged woman. Bought a bunch of cabbages and turnips this afternoon. She gave me... she overpaid, but was appreciated. I'm able to enjoy this lovely tea thanks to her.
Good. Well, my name is Han Bahon.
Hello, Han. People around here call me Pops.
Well, it's good to meet you, Pops. God, I don't even know how to fucking approach this. Yeah, no idea how I'm supposed to fucking go about this conversation.
I'm still shocked you have a last name.
Yeah, it just hasn't really come up.
Well, on those legal documents now that you're the Earth King, you know he's
Yeah.
he's just going to sit and he's like, "Would you like to sit down?" As you try to formulate words.
Yes, thank you.
Would you like a cup of tea? It's thanks to your friend that I'm able to afford this. I'm sure I'd happily share a glass with you.
He's probably a good idea.
He's going to signal for another glass to be brought over, and then when it arrives, he is going to take his little clay teapot and carefully pour you a glass.
By the way, how did we find out? Like, how do we confirm that this is Nara's?
He gave us a photo.
Actually, yeah, I'll just say this. Probably right as he puts back the teapot, he touches a little parchment of paper that's next to him. It's an ink drawing of what is clearly a younger version of him. An elegant but very plain woman standing. They're both kind of beaming at each other, and standing between the two of them is Nara, looking exactly as she does right now.
Is that your family?
Was my family. I like to think about them every now and then. They're always they're always in my heart. But sometimes I like to get distracted so I don't think about what happened to them.
That's understandable.
Have you lost people you care about?
I have.
So-
Long time ago.
It's a heavy burden. And I after a while, when you're all alone, you don't think you have much left to live for. But there's something out there. A spirit or a force greater than myself that's just keeping me moving forward.
It's always good when you can kind of find purpose again.
Indeed. And now I know what my purpose is.
What would that be?
If the people of the Earth Kingdom are just being led astray, like all we are doing here is putting all of our sheep in one pen, waiting for the wolves to come and break down the doors, slaughter us all. We are the sheep. All of us. And the walls that they're building up here in Ba Sing Se, for supposedly no reason, but most of us are refugees. Look around you. Everybody in this tea shop has managed to crawl their way out of the lower city. All of us were refugees. We all know what the Fire Nation has done to the world. The pointless war, burning of our crops and villages, setting the spirits awry and having them assault people. And
You believe the Fire Nation is behind that?
there were some instances of people being at peace with spirits, and some instances of people being at odds with spirits throughout history. Spirits don't randomly show up as gargantuan monsters trying to breach the walls of a city unless there's something seriously wrong with the world.
That's certainly true.
Mm-hmm. And now look at it. I'm sure you've heard them. I've heard them. There is no conflict in the Earth Kingdom.
Yeah.
The least I can do at this point is speak out. I feel like it's the one thing I have left to do, to ensure that what happened to my family doesn't happen to others. It doesn't matter whether it's Fire Nation, Earth Kingdom, or even the Water Tribes, or if there's any airbenders left, one of them. If someone in your family dies, no matter who takes them from you, you'll always have hate and rage towards them. And that's going to turn people bitter. But they have to learn to get past that bitterness. Stand up, make amends, do what's right. That's where I'm at. I can't change the past. Can't drink away my problems. Can't fight in a war that I'm too old to do anything and just be a burden on others. But I can still rally people. Make them see the error of the Earth King's ways. Hopefully make some real change happen in this kingdom. Hotaru, there's movement outside.
Is it the Dai Li? Can I tell?
With a 7, you know there's movement. You're not really sure exactly what kind, but there's definitely benders moving stuff.
I can tell people are earthbending?
You can tell there's earthbending going on.
Okay. I'm going to lightly stomp the floor and, just make like a little bump on the floor under Han's foot to get his attention.
Han, you get that?
All right. I actually was already kind of thinking of a way to kind of segue the conversation.
If you get it, I hope you look over at me.
Yeah, I'll kind of glance over at you.
And I quickly motion to the door.
I'll kind of nod back.
I'll get Kakan's attention the same way.
Okay. I'd love to continue this conversation, but it seems we may have some company from those who don't agree with your line of thinking.
It's not much more they can do to me at this point.
No, but if they whisk you away, you can't exactly rally people. So, if you don't mind, my compatriots and I would like to get you out of here.
Make me a persuasion check. Or equivalent.
I don't.
And just because they're helping you perceive stuff, I will allow either Kakan or Hotaru to give you a boost. But you have to be the one rolling.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really have an equivalent to that, so I mean, unless you let me use business acumen.
Oh, you didn't add to your sheet.
Didn't add what to my sheet?
You have a. I mean, I'll let you roll business acumen, but you do have that D6 Earth King.
Oh, that's right.
Can you not add to it, or should I do that?
No, we can change it.
I should be able to. I just completely forgot about it.
I think Ziggy should give the boost since I was on lookout.
Sure. Yeah. Let's see. So I'm helping to persuade.
Yep.
I was like, Earthling feels a little more appropriate in this case.
You're in yellow, don't forget.
Doesn't actually affect me.
Right. Okay.
Let's see here. I'm gonna.
You know what? I'll try and see if I can make this subtle. I'm going to use nuclear to just slightly drop the temperature in the room so that there's a chill.
Oh, okay. I like that. Sure.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna throw a. I'll throw a +2 at this as well.
Sure.
I think this is the way. Look, let's just say that not every Earth King is as willing to watch the country fail.
Okay.
Will you let us get you out of here? And so we'll go ahead and roll. Actually, since I'm rolling this to try to break us and him out of here, can I use Principle of Freedom?
Yes.
Okay. So 6 plus 8 plus 6 plus 2 plus whatever Kakan's boost was.
5.
Which is another +2.
So a 10 then.
A 10. Okay. He's going to look at you and say, "You know another Earth King?"
In fact, I do.
You can take me to him?
I certainly can. For the moment, we just need to get yourself and my compatriots out of here.
Lead the way. Alright, I'm gonna just do this quick. I would like one stealth check from any of you.
Who's good at it at this point?
Let's see. I can do a D6, a D8, and a D8. Is that good enough for people?
That's probably not terrible. Can I assist on this using air and insight to help kind of like deaden our footsteps as we go?
Sure!
I'd also like to do either a assist or a hinder. Izzy, you tell me which one.
I'm only allowing one boost to this roll, so you'll have to do a hinder.
Well, that works for me. I'm going to crack the ground outside.
All right. Well, I rolled a bunch of 3s, so you get a +1.
Okay. Right. Well, that does make it a +2 because I get +1 all.
Yep, because Kakan has stupid boosts.
It's a nice flat +1.
It is a nice flat.
Great. Well, I think I'm going to use a collection on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're in yellow, right, Izzy?
You are in
Yeah.
yellow still, yes.
I'm just going to use slippery stones
Sure. All right.
so I can hinder everyone.
So I'll have a 10 total.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys get away without a trace. So, Ziggy roll. I'm sorry, Hotaru, roll me slippery stones real quick.
Is that? Let's see. That is a. That's going to be a 6, so it's a -2 to everyone.
Okay. So, as the room in the air chills for a second, all the lights go out as you're all standing up, and the section of the wall where he was sitting kind of like opens up, and there are a bunch of guys there that just kind of reach out and grab. Hotaru, you slam on the ground, and like they start to trip over their own feet, and before they can even look up to see who you guys are as you're dashing out through the front door, they're both getting cabbage leaves thrown in their faces.
Those cabbages.
Because he rolled a 4, so he also is giving a -2 to them.
Wait, who did the cabbage merchant?
Yeah, Pops. Yeah, Pops also did that. So they actually they fail beyond belief. This has never actually happened before.
Yeah.
But the Dai Li rolled low enough that between your two hinders, they rolled negative.
Wow.
Which is the action utterly, spectacularly fails. So as you guys are rushing out the door, the Dai Li are coming in through this wall that they came into. They're slipping on stones, their eyes are obscured, and like as the lights are coming back on, the tea in the room is starting to heat up, making a mist because Kakan chilled the room earlier, and it's just a foggy tea room. They can't see shit. They have no idea where this guy disappeared or who whisked him off into the night. So complete success on your end. Because they got a negative, it's actually bumping you another level up in success.
So, cool.
Where are you guys dropping him off, or are you taking him back to your room with you?
We have to be very careful if we do that.
Yeah.
Do we know of any, like, safe houses in the lower area? Anything like Francto might have had?
Francto's office is probably the most secure place you know of, or the barracks where your friendly workers are. You could probably leave him there. But
The barracks are probably a good idea, because they can also recruit people there.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the barracks.
There.
Okay, making note that you are dropping Pops off at the barracks.
I see what you did there with calling him Pops.
I'm glad you did. All right, everybody, back to the main area thing.
Okay, and we're gonna just leave him. We're gonna just leave him there.
For now, I guess.
Okay.
All right, back to general.
We had an economist get the economist position.
No, that sounds horrible. Why would you let someone do that?
No, it worked great.
Also, Izzy was here. Stop talking about it.
All right, everybody is back here. So we are now, at this point, it is going to be later in the night. We are approaching red. I'm going to say, because I think there is nothing pressing that needs to happen tonight, you guys are going to go back to your room and go to sleep and reconvene until the following day.
Okay.
Unless there is something anybody else really wants to do tonight. But again, it's getting late and the sky is dark. There is no light.
That
sounds like sleep and go to the caves to meditate in the morning time.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
With that, I'm also going to jump you guys back to green. And because I'm me, I'm going to call everybody for a 2-minute bio break.
Okay.
All right.
How dare you?
Thank you
So-
all.
In more detail, what did I miss?
Who knows?
That
I mean,
much?
basically, we went to the tea house and we explained the situation to Han about
Stuff.
and that's mostly it, really. Like we talked to Yura talked a little. Well, no, they did like a little bit of stuff with you.
Did we reach a consensus on the thing we were going to maybe do?
Not exactly.
What are
Okay,
you talking about?
don't worry
Nothing.
I believe my consensus is that we have hot potatoed this decision to Han.
about it. I believe it is.
Yeah, that is kind of what we kind of agreed. Yeah,
What decision?
nothing.
Don't worry about it.
What are you talking about?
Fine, everything's
Han's
fine.
the Earth King. He has to do political things now.
Yeah.
He has responsibility.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
This is
And I love how he's just been silent this entire time.
Because, I mean, I haven't made a fucking decision yet.
Yep. We are just pouring all this hot responsibility in your lap.
Yep.
Nice.
The burns, they are many.
Hot responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Exactly what everyone here wants, right?
So,
Totally.
so I guess that's the other safer thing. What's going on with the moon? Did our moon buddy become
So,
the?
so remember the Moon's assistant that was
Yeah.
wearing Majora's mask that we met?
Did he become the Skull Kid?
He either is close to it or has.
Yeah, it's sounding like there is definite trajectory towards being. Not sure if we've gone over that part yet. Things are not fine.
Mm-hmm.
On. I'm still waiting for my night of like crazy revelations.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, my plan for tomorrow morning is we wake up early, probably before dawn, because spiritually significant times to go meditate in caves.
Okay, am I digging a hole then?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyone else who wants to meditate and try and reach the spirit world in the cave is welcome. I'm not sure how healthy this will be for many of you, but
Like, I might focus on learning.
I'm very interested in tagging along for that, actually. Like, I, the player. Minghua, I'm not fully sure I can justify, but I, the player, would love to try and take Minghua there.
Yeah, I will go. I might be working on something, meditating on something else instead, because energy bending sounded important to Spiritor, but none of us know how.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But first, we need Izzy to come back from his pooping.
Alas, Izzy was full of shit, and none of us were surprised.
I mean,
Yep.
yeah.
How long have we known him?
You could use that to quote literally every session he's ever run.
You're not wrong.
All right. Well, How's it? What's
Izzy,
up?
were they right? Were you full of shit?
I was not full of shit. I peed, filled up my glass of water, and I had to restart laundry. So no, I did not shit.
So he is
Just to
still full of
restart
it then.
I'm always full of shit, guys.
Yep.
Exactly.
All
We're
right.
all saying that.
So Izzy,
You have a lady in your house, dude.
I have, if no one is, if Han is still just gonna let the hot potato sit in his lap, is, you're gonna get everyone up before dawn for spiritually significant reasons, and then we can go meditate in some caves at the sun rises.
Ugh.
What caves in the middle of a city are you planning on going and meditating in?
The caves underneath the city, because Hotaro's digging a hole.
So just to be clear, the caves that are underneath the high city.
Yeah, the spirit caves.
The ones that we entered the city through this time.
So just to be clear, you're breaking through the middle city wall to the high city to get to those caves.
Maybe we might be going down and then over.
I mean, can't I just go down?
If you just want to earthbend in a city of earthbenders and try to burrow under the palace.
How do we
How many random Dai strongholds can we find?
Can we go back there, or are we locked out of the middle city right now?
You're in the middle city right now. Getting into the high city, think of it this way. You guys are trying to get into Buckingham Palace to find, to sit under a bush in the
So
gardens.
But we have-
how did we?
But
how
we have
did
a
we
foreign
manage it last time?
dignitary.
How did you manage it last time? You didn't. You came from that and flew out on Jasper's wings. You never went there last time.
Look, we have a foreign dignitary. Let's just use that.
That is a option. Are you going to do it in the dead of night during sunrise, or are you going to wait till morning?
I mean, can I dig very carefully?
Wex, if you want to dig very carefully, you may. I'm not going to stop you from digging very carefully to burrow under a heavily guarded palace surrounded by earthbenders who have earth sense. I'm not going to stop you
We're
from
in
digging.
DJ.
If you want to dig, you are more than welcome to dig.
I feel like Izzy has told us this is a bad idea, guys.
Yes,
If
yes.
you want to do it, I'm not stopping you.
I feel like Izzy has told us.
I think use foreign dignitary Han is the better idea.
Yeah.
So ironically, or not ironically, as morning does show up as it usually does, two things are going to happen. First off, there is going to be a knock on your hotel door. There is an attendant there saying that the Earth King of the entire land wishes for the presence of Omashu's elected leader to approach.
Interesting phrasing.
Uh-huh.
Has he always been called the Earth King of the entire land?
No, he's making a power play.
Let's tell him.
The second thing that happens after this attendant makes this announcement is Kakan got that warm, glowy stone.
Yep.
Ah!
Oh boy.
Yeah, remember? We made plans about that.
Yep.
Yo.
Yep, we did.
All right.
Damn, I have to go with Gira.
So the question for you guys is, Kakan, you can get the message out of this stone without much issue. The Spy Master is going to tell you that it's probably easier for him to meet you in the middle ring.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to say a well-populated area would either be the market square or the zoo. Your choice.
The zoo is kind of an open area, right? With less
Yeah,
people.
I think the zoo is simultaneously the worst choice and the fascinating choice for reasons.
I mean, the zoo it's a very popular zoo. They're comparable in number of people there. It's just, do you want to be seen as Number of people is about equivalent. It's, do you want to be in a setting where like you have to pretend to be buying shit, or do you want to be in a setting where you have to pretend to be looking at animals in like a petting zoo, open extravaganza? The choice is yours.
Right.
He's leaving it to you and any number of your compatriots that are with you. Also, the attendant who has talked to you, Han, has said that hello, update, go away. Has said that any number of your attendants are permitted to come as well. So, those are two options for each of you to choose from.
Mingwa is obviously following the head of the house.
Kakan, which of us would you want to speak to the spy master with?
Me.
No. I suppose.
Again,
I mean, the people who would gain the most information from this would probably be either Yira, Rizik, or Hotaru. So
Yeah, but if you go to the zoo, I can be good cover.
that's not an issue.
Damn it.
excuse me.
I feel like you would probably be more go to the spy master than go into the, go meet with the Earth King. For one, she probably respects the spy master a great deal more.
Oh, that makes my choice so much easier.
Alright, I'll make this easy for you guys. For the spy master, drag yourself over by the tank train. For the Earth King, over by BB.
Where's the tank?
Please don't use your markers with backgrounds. Use the ones over on the right. The ones that are by Hope.
Oh.
Earth King is BB?
Earth King is BB. Earth King is BB.
So Han's going on Team Spy Master.
Han, get your ass over by BB.
Fine.
You are literally you and Kakan are literally the only two that don't have options.
Yeah, these are mutually exclusive story branches.
I don't know. Han could be making a political statement by sending Minghua and Nara in his stead.
Okay.
I am
Our political statement is probably a declaration of war.
Oh my god.
Hey, I wouldn't cause a war!
So,
I
question.
believe in you, Nora.
Should I switch to the other one to help out, or?
It's up to you. Like
How
as long,
much chaos do you think we can create?
I
No, I get-
believe in you, Nora.
Nara, you would just tell the Earth King about what bill you've charged him.
That's true. I do need to tell one of the servants to go pick that shit up.
First
We
thing.
could have had a bear. I had a cool stuffed animal. It was a bear.
We didn't want that even before I sent Izzy a horrifying idea.
So, quick question, actually. Is there a reason I should go to the Spy Master, or as one of the former Fire Nation people?
it's basically to see if there are any questions that you could get out of him about Director Kresh and the Ember Island facility.
Yeah.
You know you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, really pick whichever group you want.
This is the sensible but probably unfortunate way to split the party.
I do like my Uncle Rizik, though. He is one of
You
my
do.
favorite babysitters.
Okay.
This is why we're glad that Nara hasn't learned Shadow Clone Jutsu yet.
Yep.
Just wait.
Oh, no.
I'm just trying. I think with Han and Mimoa, you should be fine on babysitters at the moment.
Same as last
Earth
Maybe.
King's a pretty big baby.
I'm sorry. They're not my babysitters. They're my attendants. I'm a princess.
Yeah, that's a fancy word for babysitter in your
But
age.
Han is
I
the
like how
reason
the
you're a
king
princess.
is the princess. I like how the king is the princess's attendant now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a great plan.
He's a good dad. Anything his little princess wants.
If you
Can I
have
trust you to ask questions about the spirit or and others, and just where the weak points on the place would be? And
If you write,
the
John,
place?
write out a list of things, we will ask it.
Yeah,
Okay,
that sounds
yeah. I'll go with this one. I'm worried about it somehow ending in disaster.
Yeah.
Uncle Rizik's coming! Yay!
Yeah, why would we ever be worried about Kenzie going places?
Yep.
Yep.
I hold myself to a higher standard now. I am nobility.
Yeah, you get to throw other people into the cabbage cart instead.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You literally harassed a shopkeeper earlier today.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Which group would like to go first?
I want to see the Earth King first. I know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so Han, Rizik, Nara, and Minghua, you four managed to you follow the attendant. You trivially get through the wall between the middle city and the upper city, and it is shut.
Grandpa left us with a shit ton of spending cash to throw around.
Yeah. And it is notable how much better, just from being on the other side of this wall, makes it. The architecture is more grand. The streets are cleaner. People seem to be less stressed. They're all talking, and it's everyday chit-chat and gossip. Everybody's smiling. There's no complaints. It's though, like, anything beyond those walls just doesn't exist. They're all in their own little world. People walking around just ignore. As you walk past them, they're, nodding, smiling. Hi, how are you?
We're not leaving this part of the city, are we? We're gonna be stuck here forever.
Probably.
And as you walk through, everybody kind of has that same story. Just kind of like a distant, forlorn look on them. You see soldiers and Daily agents. You just kind of like wandering around, patrolling, stone-faced as always. But people don't even seem to pay them much mind. They're just kind of there. There's this one guy. He's just focused on clipping his bonsai tree ever so perfectly. And as you walk past him, he smiles and waves at you, and he goes back to meticulously clipping off one little spruce needle at a time on this little tree. And
I tug on Han's sleeve and I make him lean down and I go, "Is this really what nobility does? This seems really boring."
Yeah, it kind of is pretty boring.
Oh, that's super disappointing.
Well, good news. You're nobility now, so you can start setting new standards.
Oh my god, you're right. Uncle Rizik. We need to make this fun and cool and not boring.
We should spend some more time observing what the thing currently is before we make changes, okay?
Fine.
You need to understand what you're dealing with before you start changing the system.
I suppose that is sort of a good idea. Alright, we'll keep watching. Onward!
whoa, what the hell just happened there?
I derailed your monologue.
Sorry, my notes went crazy.
Damn you, Google Drive.
Was Nara hacked?
Microsoft Word, actually. In any case, as you guys continue past this old guy after, seeing a lot of things, as soon as you pass this old guy and you have your little conversation, you keep walking, like a block away in the exact, second house from the corner, there's another old guy clipping the exact same kind of tree in the exact same shape, smiles and waves at you in the exact same manner.
That's creepy.
And
Everyone kind of pauses briefly at seeing that.
Did we make a turn, or is this still straight along the road?
this is still straight along the road. It's a different old guy, but it's an old guy.
Huh?
Yeah. You walk past another block, same exact thing. And eventually...
Okay. Miguel's going to approach.
Oh, you're going to approach the old guy?
I'm going to approach old guy number 3.
Okay. Oh! Hello! You're a big one! Do you
What?
like my tree?
I nod.
You should come and shape bonsai with me. It is excellent for relaxing. Excellent hobby in times of peace. There's no conflict here.
Yeah, that's about what I thought. I'm just going to nod and just kind of like reach out a hand like may I towards the tree.
Oh, yes.
I grab it and run.
Woo!
You trying to be stealthy at all?
No!
I see
Bolting
we
down the street,
Mingwa, I need you to make me an acrobatics and speed check, please.
done.
You about to get ganked.
we have chosen to not even make it to the king.
We have not chosen.
4.
Nara has chosen.
I'm trying to...
Take the twist.
Yeah, no, let's go forward to find old guy number 4.
I'm sorry, what?
We found 3 old guys trimming a bonsai tree in the exact same way. Mingwall's gonna grab the tree, run, and find the next old guy trimming a bonsai tree.
Okay, so
Guy.
that's not why I had you make that check.
I know.
Okay, so
That's
as
what I want to do.
okay, so as you start bolting down the pathway, Nara, Han, Rizik, you all see Mingwa grab this tree and run. You look back at this old guy. He looks off at his tree running away, and then he like reaches down under his thing, pulls out another tree that's almost identical and starts clipping it.
What the fuck?
And as you see Mingwa charging down the street, there's a second where Mingwa is there, and then Mingwa isn't there.
Ooh,
What is that?
What is that sound? That was Ziggy.
Yeah, Ziggy, what the fuck's going on?
Ziggy, is your fan going on the fritz again?
I think Ziggy's caught in a saw trap.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds like
Maybe Ziggy is...
He's lifting off.
Vacuuming?
Lifting off. It's time to fly. Become
vacuuming the
rocket
mic
man.
and make sure it's clean.
Okay, that sounds better.
So 1 second I'm for 1 second I'm gone, huh?
Yeah, no one else can really see this. You're like there for a second and there you're not. I'm trying to
And
find...
does Meemaw come back?
So we're gonna deal with Mingwa in a bit, but Mingwa, Mingwa, what happens to you is you're running, and remember what happens to that Tales of Ba Sing Se?
Yep.
Actually, it's not that.
We all about to be fucking
It's
kidnapped?
not about to. It's already happened. The street literally rotates over as you're running with this tree, and you find yourself now in the under part of the city.
Man, all I wanted to do was swap 2 old guys' trees and just see what happened. Apparently nothing, but...
Apparently nothing. By the way, we'll get back to you in a little bit in a private channel.
Figured.
We're gonna, I think we're gonna swap over to the other group now, because we haven't even gotten to the Earth King yet.
Swap to the other group, cut away right before Nora goes into a major tantrum.
Yeah. So, first off...
I made choices.
You did. Kakan, Hotaru, and Yira, where did you tell the Spy Master you wanted to meet him?
Probably the market.
Market? Okay. So, you guys are waiting by the market. He told you probably he said he would find you after you confirmed market. Or rather, he would have said no matter where you go, he will find you. And then you specified market. So you guys head to the market, looking around, and you're noticing there's a lot, like an absurd amount of Dai Li, kind of roaming the streets looking for someone. Like, Kakan, this is more than, like, actually, Yura and Kakan, you guys were both there yesterday talking to the individual in this square while there was stuff happening. More Dai Li than then. Hotaru and Kakan, this is more Dai Li than were at the tea shop by at least 3 times.
Oh, good.
Like, there are several handfuls of Dai Li, and, like, they're not even, like, most of them aren't even being subtle. There are some that are keeping on top of rooftops. There are others who are just kind of, like, going into alleyways, but there are some who are just, like, actively, like, standing in high places on, like, stone platforms that they have made through earthbending that are just popping up between people, and everybody is noticing them. A lot of people are talking about them. No one's ignoring them, but it's clear that the Dai Li are ignoring most people.
So any of the people who are talking say anything about what the Dai Li are doing?
No, they're fucking confused as hell as to why the Dai Li are here in this kind of force. Well, yeah, no, everybody is, like, looking around, they're like, as they're purchasing things, they're like, and they're like, no, it's okay, this is a good price for this. Like, I don't know. Like, they're, like, looking over at the Dai Li, wondering if they're about to be taxed or anything. Like, it's a weird thing where people have shit they need to buy and sell, but people feel weird buying and selling when, Big Brother government is literally right there watching them.
Understandable.
Anyway, as you guys are waiting by the fountain, you are approached. Elderly man, gray hair, small circular spectacles, very thin, lithe frame, wearing a flowing white robe. He's going to look at you guys, toss a coin into the fountain, and say, "Pleasant day, isn't it, Captain?"
Khan will not acknowledge the moniker, but he'll just nod and go, "Indeed. It is surprisingly gratifying to see that you are alive."
He's going to chuckle to himself. It's incredibly gratifying to be alive, if I could be quite honest. I'm sure I have, in part, to thank all of you and your group for that. But I believe I believe.
I take it. Sorry, bro.
No. He was waiting for you. What are you going to say? Go for it.
Are you the one responsible for our entourage?
They're looking for someone else. Don't worry, they won't recognize me right now.
Is this a safe place to speak?
If you know a place that's more secure, by all means, lead me there. He's going to look over at Hotaru and Yura, and going to, like, also nod respectfully. Hotaru. Yura. Because he knows your names.
Right. Of course he does.
Mm-hmm.
Aki, while we're out like this.
Aki. Good choice. Just pretend for now that I'm an old uncle that you've recently run into, and you want to show me a little bit of the town, since I'm not very familiar with the Middle Ring. So where would you want to take me for our little family reunion? While we're, won't be overheard.
I don't know, Izzy, we wandered around a whole lot of places yesterday looking over all their defenses. We probably know somewhere that the Dai Li mostly aren't paying attention to.
Yeah, you can trivially find one of those little corners or like a little shop with like 1 or 2 people working in it. It's not hard to do. especially because you guys are not the ones that are currently being looked for.
Right. Find a little bar, get the corner table of everyone knows no one pays attention to what anyone else is saying here, and that's what the screen dividers are for.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of character question, do you have an idea of what the dialer you're currently looking for?
Okay. From what he just said to them, they're looking for him, but not this face.
Okay,
Right.
that's what I thought I'd picked up, but I wasn't certain. Thanks for the confirmation.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So,
So I'll take him by the shoulder as though greeting a family member, and we'll escort him out of here to one of said areas.
okay.
Well, there's this wonderful little place. Very interesting wine. You have to try it.
I do like wine. Keeps my ticker going. I was going to say with a smile and a chuckle.
Go to the bar that knows how to not ask questions. Order a very large bottle
Yeah.
that won't need to be refilled often.
Gallons. Maybe like a barrel.
Just a jug.
Yeah, just a jug. A carafe of wine is brought to you guys as you sit down and start
The
discussing.
box of wine is brought out.
No box. All right. I believe you have some questions for me. I'm certainly interested in what exploits you've been up to ever since you left the prison complex.
Mostly searching for things dealing with the spirit realm. There's quite a lot of people interested in it these days.
Indeed. And I fear that the more people that try to get involved, the more tampering happens. But
Are you aware of the main perpetrator of the assault those nights ago? Here in Boston State.
unfortunately, I have been restricted to the upper city for a while, and I didn't feel it was appropriate to blow my cover at any point.
Then maybe we can trade information.
I would happily do so. I do trade in information. So,
Very well.
would you like
Yeah.
would you like me to go first as a olive branch? Though technically, Kakan, you do report to me. And I'll be honest, your reports have been a little light for my liking, but I recognized I didn't set you out with an active mission goal in mind.
I kind of give Kakan an eyebrow, but let's say nothing.
How about we alternate?
Seems reasonable. What would you like to know?
Guess we'll start with the. I guess we'll start with the most immediately pertinent. Why are you here?
That, I believe the best answer for that is I think I was outplayed. Outfoxed. I stuck my way into a Council of Generals meeting, and I heard that there was going to be a assault on the Capitol. And after I had gained this information, I headed out, so they were loading up several of their rapid armor transports. The newer models that they had been working on, and were making them ready. I assumed that that meant they would be here within a week or two's time. So I came here. It appears I was wrong. And because of the recent spirit activity that happened, I haven't really had a chance to leave. But my objectives are the same as they always are. Go in somewhere, find out who the problem people are, disable them. That way surrender is imminent, easy, and loss of life is negated. Not dissimilar from what you used to do, says, looking at Ira. But my methods are less lethal initially.
It all depends on what you mean by elimination, but
Just
not dissimilar.
just taking them off the board. I've never been one for killing people, but taking them, relocating them, getting them away from the battlefield that would happen. Most places will freely surrender if they have no fighters left. Unfortunately, I don't have the authority to see what happens to them after they end up in a facility. And I think that is where the greatest problem lies, and that's where Kresh and Sakam have been getting their hooks in for too long. I was going to say as he reaches over and, literally gulps down a glass of wine.
Oh, much more than that. They have a whole host of different facilities and different things to show whoever they wish.
I'm aware, I just don't know the location of all of them. Anyway, question for you now. Immediately after you left the facility, I'm actually more curious what happened to everybody that was on the ship you took. Or did some misfortune befall you all? I hadn't heard
Most of them were let off in Bossing Say proper. Those that had places to go that could be reached as part of the trip were, they got to choose their destination if it was along the route. I think 26 was when we stopped at Izzy. I can't wait. Or was it 25?
You stopped there. You stopped at 26 to resupply, but you didn't. Nobody got off.
Gotcha. Yeah. So everyone was let out in Bossing Say.
Yeah. He's like, I'm impressed you made it this all the way here so quickly without. Actually, no, he wouldn't say that. He's just gonna be like, "Oh, I'm glad you made it here safely, and I'm surprised you beat the land force that I thought was going to be arriving here."
Depending on which ones you thought, who was with it, we may have found where some of them went.
Some of who? Who are you referencing right there?
Depending on, out of character, the ones that went to the library instead. But here's not saying that yet because we're trading information, just saying we might know where some of that land force went depending on who was supposed to be with it.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. He's just going to cock an eyebrow at it and be like, okay. He's going to pour another glass and say, your turn. Take another sip.
Where is Director Kresh getting the spirit ore?
Originally, I believe he was getting it from the Forgetful Valley in a volcanic area near one of his facilities. Ember Island is relatively close to that area. Fortunately, because of the volcano, the spirit ore was tainted. Hence why his could not do what mine can do. And he's going to say as he, holds up his hand and you see several rings on his fingers.
And Director Koresh is aware of this?
That my rings come from a more pure source?
Yes. Otherwise, why would he bother using his own for the Fire Nation's war machine?
I believe he didn't know where my source came from until recently, if he even knows where it is. No, my spirit ore has always come from various locations around the world. Either from the North or South Pole, deep underneath the foggy swamp, or hidden away within the vast expanses of the desert.
And how much of that have you supplied to the Fire Nation?
None. Outside of what I have used for myself, for my own missions, I haven't supplied the research division with any, nor does anybody else seem to need it.
Well, I believe it's your turn.
I'm not going to ask you guys to recap everything. He is going to be asking you guys stuff about your journey, if you made any stops anywhere. You guys are just going to tell me, like, how much you're telling him.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much, did you make any noteworthy stops or see any spirits along your travels, kind of thing?
So basically, should we tell him about the spirit at the air temple? I assume we're not telling him about Franco.
Fracto definitely not. I think.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to chip in since my character's not there at all?
My general thing is not Francto. Yira's not going to pipe up about the central air temple unless she absolutely has to. But the spirit that took over the eastern air temple, that we went to the library, I don't think we really ought to hide because he can just get that info anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so
we'll relay those two. Yeah.
Okay, you guys can assume that those are a couple of questions worth of things if you're telling him most of that stuff.
Yeah, let's get a few questions out of this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying, because the back and forth is cool, but, like,
Yeah.
out of character,
Yeah,
I know all this already.
Yeah. We'll make it easier. Okay.
Why don't we go with the Spiridor questions since?
No, I already asked the first one. So, how have they been making them provide bending, and how have they figured out energy bending?
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of imbuing them with energy, using various runes. Simple enough to do once you know how.
Using the Spiridor? Or can any metal suffice?
Has to be with the Spiridor during the forging process. While it's still malleable and being formed, you can actually give it abilities based off of what sorts of runes and spirit magics you imbue to it.
I was going to assume this is a complex art where many of what these runes are and how you would properly form them is quite secret knowledge.
Not secret knowledge, but if you do it wrong, the side effects the results can be catastrophic in the best of circumstances. It's a very precise work.
Why did they change their methods? In the initial prototype stage, they created, my abilities. But the benders that have been created since clearly lack the autonomy or the sanity to, the process has clearly changed. Why?
See, that one I'm not fully sure about, Captain. You were unique. You were the only one that survived the early stages. However, as the program evolved, so too did Sakam and Kresh's ambitions. As that grew, so too did the scope of what they hoped to do. And with them hoping to do more, make people stronger, more powerful, since you'd already set the bar and they wish to surpass that, despite the fact that individuals' lives were on the line, was a small price for them to pay. And one that many valiant soldiers had to pay without any say. If it has not been made painfully obvious at this point, I have no love for your father, is going to say, looking directly at Hotaru, Director Kresh, or most of the generals that populate the high command table of the Fire Lord. Currently, our nation is enjoying an era of prosperity. War should not have been the first thought we had in a way to share all we have with the other nations. Genocide should have been the farthest thing from it, and yet look what we've done to the air nomads. My goal is to make sure that there is enough of a world left when this is all over that we can rebuild and actually serve the purpose we were shooting for at the very beginning of spreading our prosperity to other nations. And not just making them live in fear of us so we could lord over them.
Only more leadership had thoughts like yours.
Understand this here. People who have thoughts like mine will never rise higher in rank than I have already attained. And no matter what side of the history books you are looking at, either from within our country or externally, from other nations, I will always be viewed as a villain. And yet, I accept this moniker because it's just that. I do what I know is right. Unfortunately, there are people that are both in higher positions of power than me and stronger than me that make it so even my best intentions don't turn out well. It's why I choose the battles I fight and use my pull wherever I think it is most effective, after I know what's going on everywhere. Why do you think the Fire Nation hasn't been following you for so long? He's going to say, looking at Ira and Hotaru.
I'd assumed a combination there of there still being some who recognized what was going on was wrong, and them deciding that their efforts were better spent on conquest than a hunt.
Well, that, and I had already claimed that you had been handled.
Well, thank you for that.
Thank you. I thought it's just because we kept moving.
In the beginning it was, but once you ended up in my circus, it was not. Unfortunately, each of you is far, far powerful enough to have the Fire Nation take notice of and require me to take you off the board, else others would actually eliminate you. But
yes, and thank you for illuminating me. What your thoughts on the rest of Fire Nation leadership was a question I did have.
Also, here, guys, I'm going to jump us over to another group because we have been talking for a bit.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the question becomes: do we want to go with Minghua or do we want to go with Han, Nara, and Rizik, who still haven't made it to the Earth King?
I think it's more interesting to go with not me, so that they have no idea what's going on with me as they're acting.
All right, Han, Nara, Rizik, you guys are up. Don't everybody chime in at once.
We're still traveling, right?
Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah. So
do we notice that Meemaw disappeared, or
I was in front of you on the street when it happened, so yeah.
Yeah, you got.
So we saw you get swallowed?
You saw Minghua like bolt straight ahead of you guys, like was in the middle of the road carrying a like small bonsai tree, was like there a second and then just like gone. Like you looked away for a split second, then looked back, and Minghua was just gone.
yeah, immediately hopping out and looking at the area that Meemaw disappeared from.
Yeah, I'm gonna start kind of hyperventilating a little bit.
Fair.
I'm sorry. I'd be looking to see if there's like signs of a hidden panel that's the floor was bended out of the way, something for where meanwhile would have been.
I mean, it clearly looks like earthbending happened, right?
No. There.
No?
Make me an investigation check. It's not obvious.
I'm not at my computer right now. I can't do that.
Okay, I will roll for you, unless Rizik or Han would like to make the roll.
I can boost by getting magnifying glasses and other detective tools.
Sure, roll that.
What color are we in?
You're still in green.
Sorry, I'm trying to get a couple chores out of the way before bedtime.
No problem.
So that is a 7 persistent for investigation.
7, that is a
Dang.
+2. So Han or Nara, who would like to make the roll? If it's Nara, I will roll for you.
I'll let Han do it.
All right. I guess if Kenzie wants to make it.
Oh, she just said let you do it.
Oh, okay. I did not hear that correctly. Then hold on.
Yeah, Dad, take some fucking responsibility, Jesus.
You need to find the nanny.
All right. Finding the nanny. 8.
Plus the 2 from Rizik's magnifying glasses.
Okay, so 10.
So yeah, as
Pretty good start, Dad.
as you wander around, you're looking. You definitely can see like there were a couple of like little dirty footprints where Minghua was like running, and then they just kind of stop. And looking around, you're like, you can't really.
Is the tree there, or did the tree go with Minghua?
The tree's there too. Just kind of sitting there. That
Oh, the tree that Minghua stole.
Yeah, that one like little branch.
Wow.
That one branch that the guy was like meticulously clipping is just like at a 90-degree angle.
Interesting.
But yeah, no, it's a cobblestone road, and you're looking at it, and you're like, it doesn't seem like there's any seams, no trapdoors, no nothing. But you're pretty sure that benders could easily open this up and let something through.
I mean, you're the Earth King, Dad. You could get some benders over here to look at this.
That's what you get, though, Han. Like, nothing looks suspicious, but the fact that there are footprints that just stop and the tree here means nothing looks suspicious, which is just twice as suspicious in this scenario. Like, there's something going on here, and it's bending related.
I don't have a lot of power here. I don't really have any power here, Nara, so this is not my city.
But you're an Earth King. You should have, like, attendants or something.
You know exactly who I've been traveling with and who I have to work with. I mean, like...
Well, where were Grandpa's attendants?
What was that?
Where were Grandpa's attendants?
I assume by Grandpa she means,
Frank.
Yes.
Frankto.
Grandpa! Really? What else would I be talking about?
Most of them ran off when he was having money problems, if I remember correctly.
Actually,
But there was still.
actually, Han, with a 10, you actually see one of them right now.
Oh.
Because you've
He's totally been delayed, huh?
Because you've run forward enough where you would have had, run into the next old man who you're like, that guy used to be one of Frankto's accountants, and he's just sitting there absentmindedly, snipping that same branch on that bonsai tree, looking up at you with a look that means he doesn't recognize you, and just smiling brightly and waving at you.
Is it, like, vacant? Is he, like, drugged?
He got delayed.
Oh, so the reprogramming, right?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah,
Correct.
Okay.
Well, even with a 10, it doesn't seem like he's going to be very fucking helpful.
Yeah.
Oh no! You know where this guy is. You know that whatever happened with Nara is definitely happened because, or whatever happened to Minghua was definitely because of Earthbenders. Unfortunately, your group does not contain an Earthbender.
Nope.
We have a metal bender?
which is not it.
Could I send a metal spike into the ground to try and like find something?
Yeah.
Do you want to attempt to
Problem solving.
Do you want to attempt to do that?
We should
Yeah, a
probably
big metal spike into the ground to see if like.
Sean, are you saying you're sneak attacking the city?
Yes.
also.
Hell yeah, go
are
Sean.
you really planning to metal bend in broad daylight?
No, it's the thing of I put my hand against the ground. I then send like metal wire spike through the ground.
Okay, that is pretty cool. Not going to lie.
This is what like not going to. This is not like huge metal bending rip things apart. It is sending down like small needle effectively of like, okay, is there something underneath this?
Mm-hmm. So as you're doing this, the needle is having tough time because it's literally trying to get through solid stone. And as you're like forcing it through, the attendant is going to walk over to you all and say, "I'm sorry, Mr. Omashu representative and friends. Please return to the carriage. His Majesty, the Earth King, is waiting for us and expecting you." Smiling brightly, eyes closed.
All for time as best as possible.
Judy, please go away.
The attendant that actually came and got you guys.
Because of course they're still with us. I forgot that.
Yeah.
I also forgot that. I thought we were by ourselves.
Han, Nara, Rizik, what you guys doing?
You got all for time.
I'm gonna stomp my foot and just start bawling at the attendant and be like, "I'm missing! Where's my baby?"
Oh, your nanny ran away. It's okay. We can get you a new nanny. I will be your nanny. Come.
You're not my nanny.
Come.
And I just kick them in the shins.
I'm sorry, she's very particular about her nanny.
I only want Ming-Hua!
So, despite all of the nearby people in the houses that you are avoiding, or rather that you are passing by, are pretending as though there's nothing wrong, you are gathering the attention of several people who are looking at you from those wide brims. They are going to just start, approaching from a few different things, from a few angles.
Join me in the conflict jail.
I'm gonna pull my authority and say, I am an Earth princess. You will bring me back my nanny right this instant.
Who are you saying that to? The attendant or the Daily person who just appeared in front of you?
The person in front of me, because they clearly have the lights on at home, whereas the other person doesn't.
He's just going to look. He's just going to look at you and say, "There is no conflict in the Earth Kingdom. You must be mistaken."
I didn't say conflict. I said, "Give me my nanny." You took him. I want him.
If your nanny is missing, that means there will be conflict. Don't worry. We will resolve this conflict.
I'll create some conflict if you don't give me my nanny. You're creating conflict right now by taking my nanny from me. Give them back and there'll be no conflict.
You wish to create conflict? By the way, Han, the guy who's talking right now, his face looks eerily familiar.
Familiar in what way?
So you remember that nice worker you met when you first showed up at Ba Sing Se?
God damn.
No.
Not the same guy. Familial resemblance.
Hey.
Remember how he said his brother was taken?
Yeah.
He did in fact say that.
Yeah.
You gonna rein me in there, Dad, or you gonna let me keep going?
I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out a sufficiently large way to undig the hole that you've dug for us.
Sorry, you know how I get when my nanny gets taken from me.
What a surprise. I muted for 5 minutes and look what happens.
Is there Izzy? Within visual range, is there anything that's like particularly like large or valuable, or would be really, really loud if it, like, fell over and shattered or something?
Sure. You see, as you have on several blocks past, there are several people who are assembling a tower out of small stones. And the finished product, it's looking very similar to the palace.
They're making sand castles?
They're making stone castles in, like, the foyer before, like, matting them together. Think like every corner street you have that same gaudy statue that's like, "This is our neighborhood." The modern day equivalent of like
street signs almost.
Think like "Welcome to Waterview," which is like a development. They normally have like a statue and the sign that says that. If you're in like a fancy rich area, imagine that. Only it's just the statue, and every single block has the exact same statue that's being constructed right now in the exact same way.
Is Bossing Zay creepier now than it was in the show?
Because now it's also Pleasantville.
Because I'm here.
Okay.
Because Izzy has a dark imagination that he needs to let run wild.
So what we're gonna
it's
do
entertaining.
is so the Daily don't like conflict. They don't like things not being nice in their little orderly world. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna very, very, very quietly and subtly sneak, basically just kind of. Obviously, I've got my sacks of coin or whatever on me at all times.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we're going to kind of basically gonna be kind of like talking to Nara, like pretend, like kind of going like, "Nara, it's all right. We'll get you." I'll just basically just saying nonsense to kind of like keep the dialogue.
I'll get you a new nanny, or I'll get you a new goat gorilla, or something like that.
Well, no,
right?
I know better than that because you would actually kick Han in the balls if I said we'll get you a new nanny.
Yeah, I would.
But
I was waiting for you to say it.
As I'm doing this, some coins are going to kind of spill out of my pocket. Okay, whatever, no big deal. I'm rich, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
you are the Earth King.
As we're kind of doing this, some of those coins are kind of going to, like out of the Dialy's field of vision, is kind of inexplicably going to like move really, really quickly on the ground. And I'm going to be using combat meditation to basically use some subtly airbended coins to knock down this very large and loud stone statue that they're trying to put up.
Sure, roll it.
Alright, so max plus min.
You're totally flailing to comfort the small child, not bending.
Yes, obviously not bending. Okay,
Who
no
bends
doubles, that's
things?
an 11.
11, okay, yeah, you do that. And, yeah, as this happens, the person who's putting it together is, like, gonna, like, get slammed on the head a few times, and it's like... So, the structure comes falling down. The person who's assembling falls off of the high thing, ends up, boom, hitting his head on impact, shakes his head, stands up, looks around, it's just like, "Oh, God, what's going on? Where am I?" And as he's saying that, the two Daily who were looking at you guys is going to turn and look at him, and they're just going to be like, "Excuse us," and they're just going to like glide away towards this individual, who is then going to see them coming, scamper away, and start running in the opposite direction.
Alright, so at this point I'm going to just make sure Nara's looking square in the eye, put a finger to my lips, and then kind of usher her off away from the Daily.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that like choking sob thing that children do when they're like trying to be quiet while crying.
Sure.
The best thing we can do for Minghua is to keep ourselves from getting caught.
Okay.
As all this is going on, Rizik, the needle you were sent underground, you finally feel it like get free, like it's not going through anything solid anymore. At least 2.5 feet thick is the rock
Damn.
going through this ground.
Okay. I don't believe I don't believe I would be able to quickly assemble glass in such a way to go from metal needle to reverse periscope.
No. No, not in the amount of time you have.
Okay, so I think then probably what makes sense is to whisper to Han what have found and then retract the needle, because we probably can't just sit here for this long.
Yeah. No, you guys have a temporary distraction. If you want to stick around, there will be issues.
Yeah, no, we moving.
Okay. So I'm going to say you guys get to the approach of the palace after several more blocks. Once you guys get and see the palace area open, it becomes like a wide open garden area with very many mirror pools. You guys recognize the particular garden that you flew out of on Jasper's back when leaving the library, leading into the battle. And you are brought up a set of stairs that plateau, another set of stairs, which plateau again, and then finally into the palace proper, like a grand Mayan ziggurat, high up.
I don't know what that looks like.
It's
never mind. You said Mayan. Okay.
Yeah, it's a pyramid that looks out and can, from the palace, the earth. Like, as you look around back towards the upper city, you have a clear view of the entire upper city from here. But the view very suddenly stops when it hits the wall between the upper city and the middle city. And you see a...
Wait.
What?
So... You can't
have
see
illusions
past
set
the
up?
upper city.
You cannot see the rest of the city, the middle ring or the lower ring. It just goes the wall between the high city and the middle city. That's where the perception ends. And then above that, you see the outer wall that surrounds the entirety of Ba Sing Se. Like, you can't see the
They
other
have a
levels.
mirage set up?
No, you can't see the other levels of the city because the walls are so high around it.
Oh, okay. So it's not a mirage, just height.
Yeah, it's just height. It's literally, this is isolated.
Got it.
But yeah, as you guys approach, you see a individual wearing, green armor, long flowing cape, speaking to some Dai Li, and he's yelling at them, saying, "I don't care what it takes. Find him. Bring the Avatar back to the palace." With that, we'll go.
Terran is free!
With that, we are going to jump over to another group. So who would like to go? We can either choose Minghua, or we can choose people with the Spy Master.
We just keep splitting the party. Why do we do this to ourselves?
Because it's
Maybe
actually
kind of
logical.
Is he sort of forced it on us this time? Then I made choices.
Yes.
I'm sad that this time I'm not all alone again. I'm sad that you, Laura, got to take that job.
You don't want to be with us, Uncle Rizik?
No, I just like maximizing the amount of time Rizik has to be a problem all on his own.
Yeah,
that
you have
he
had
has to
your own,
manage.
By the way,
you have had your own solo adventure several times now.
I forgot to ask, did you bring Thomas with you?
Oh, yeah, what
Into
the hell
the
do we do with
city?
Thomas?
Fuck no.
Okay, nah. I kind of want to because I don't like leaving him with other people, but like I guess we will trust him with the Lotus at the moment.
Yeah. All right. So who wants to go? People with the Spy Master or Minghua?
Does anyone else have questions? Because otherwise I can go and ask a couple of the questions that Yira wants to know.
Okay, I'm hearing Spy Master group.
We're going to give Minghua a little bit more time before he uses Earthquake and also suplexes the train, Earth Kingdom Palace.
Fair.
I mean, the trains are no longer, so suplexing trains are now allowed.
Yeah. All right, so Yira, Hotaru, Kakan, what else do you want to know?
Well, so one of the questions here is whether or not the Spy Master knows anyone significant who either is possessed by a spirit or is actually a spirit that we ought to look out for.
There are people who have much more knowledge about spirits than I think they have any right to. Others who have gained that knowledge through careful study, but I don't believe I am aware of anyone who's presently possessed by a spirit.
Right.
He's going to say, looking at you guys, for example, there are several members within the White Lotus organization who are very well versed in spirits. They've been to their library, as have you, as have I. Many people who are very spiritual in nature often don't tend to follow what their countries decide is the best course of action if they know it is morally wrong. They often find their own way, their own path. People that have been possessed by spirits, on the other hand, depending on the spirit, that can be trivial to discover or next to impossible. Spirits that inhabit our world that should probably go back to the spirit world at some point. I mean, the Mother of Faces comes to the Forgetful Valley as the solstice is near. Wan Shitong and several denizens inhabit his library. There are several spirits who inhabit the other nexuses, where the veil between both the spirit world and the natural world is the thinnest. Some can cross over whenever, others can only cross over at times of heightened celestial activity. Stars are in line, the moon and the sun are eclipsing one another. So, if I was trying to keep track of where every single spirit was, in addition to what's going on within the Fire Nation High Command, I would need at least a dozen of me.
Oh, that's entirely fair. We've just found a reasonable amount of evidence that at least some of High Command are influenced in some way.
I'd love to know what evidence you've found that I haven't been able to parse out. Well, I expect some of the technological advancements are a little beyond the scope of what we should be able to do. I haven't really had any evidence that points to it being spiritual in nature.
At the very least, you're going to let Hotaru be the one to maybe answer some of those questions, seeing as how Yura was not in the library and also it involves Hotaru's dad.
Yeah, I mean, are we giving those answers yet?
That's up to you.
Is the out-of-character question, when is the next solstice?
Okay, I need you to ask that in character.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fair. When is the next solstice? And I kind of asked that to the group.
Your guess is as good as mine at this point.
Oh, because of the moon?
The moon has not been acting rationally, so the solstices are mixed up. It's when the moon would appear at its zenith. And the moon has been doing so every day, during the day, for the past 2.5 weeks.
All right, well, I'll ask a question now. Would that affect a person's ability to find the Mother of Faces?
It depends on if she wishes to be found. If you've met her before, it's that much easier. If you've been blessed by her, he's going to say, looking at his hands. You know,
How do we find her?
Well, he said she goes to the Forgetful Valley, and
Right.
so I'm asking the spirits there.
Right, but I'm asking someone who's met her. What's the best way to find her if we needed to talk to her?
If you're really interested in meeting the Mother of Faces, I could arrange an introduction.
I would like that. I need to confirm something with her, and if she is as ancient as I've come to believe, she may have some information. She'd also be the first ancient spirit that maybe isn't trying to kill us.
How many ancients are trying to kill you?
Is that your question?
Yes.
I think we can start sharing this, guys.
Yeah.
I'll answer that with the answer of who was attacking the city. We recently fended off in the attack Mother Glowworm, who had come for some form of vengeance upon humanity. We drove her back into the spirit world.
Well, having an ancient wish vengeance upon the entirety of humanity is not a good thing.
No, especially not with the rather incredible spiritual imbalance that some of the Fire Nation's actions have been causing.
Precisely. Well, it's better to have an ancient on our side than against us, so if we need to speak with the Mother of Faces, that would...
I'm hoping she can tell us something about her children.
Going to just narrow his eyes at you. He's like, you had my curiosity when you brought up the Mother of Faces. Now, you have my undivided attention.
Oh?
Whose turn is it for a question? I've lost track.
I think it's
Why
Ziggy's.
Karen? Why Karen? Why get a child involved?
That was my fault. Partially because there was a naivety to him, but also an innocence that, granted, I thought I could use to my benefit. Make people... If he believed it, I thought he could make others believe it better than I could. And partially because the alternative was to leave him for dead.
Leave him for dead.
Well, you spoke with the boy. He was willing to step up and fight injustice, even though having no real skill.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yes, and when left in a village where there were no warriors left, my own doing, taking them off the board, had soldiers shown up, he would have just gotten himself killed. This was... Think of it as a way of atoning. Maybe if I could save this small boy from a fate, and rather than have him die for nothing and then have his town surrender, keep him alive. The town would surrender anyway, and that way no life would be lost. Foolish, but at least he was able to escape with all of you. So,
Sierra briefly looks like she wants to say something at that, but just doesn't.
Oh, right, he doesn't know. Out of character. He doesn't know what happened to Taryn.
Oh, that's not the reason why this was happening, but it's among them. Beyond that, for things that can actually be done to help, we're obviously interested in at least several other areas that the Fire Nation has, and I dare say all of us agree that several of these labs ought not to have as many captives as they do. If there's any that you know of that are lightly defended, vulnerable, arrogant, whose commanders are arrogant,
There are several prison complexes, as you know, throughout the entire Fire Nation. Unfortunately, any of the labs specifically that are run by Director Kresh and General Sakam, I do not know the full extent of their locations. I do know that whenever they pick up and move to a new facility, they usually bring most of their staff and employees with them. That way no one finds out where they are. I mean, the only hint I have as to where they are right now is if they're prepping for the prince's wedding. But again, I assumed that was going to be here. Hence, my early arrival.
Well, considering what we've seen of their defenses, if that train does arrive, I can't imagine that Ba Sing Se will last all that long.
No, from the way they were packing up, they should have been here at least a week ago.
On that, at least one train, along with several of their suits, went to the library instead.
Out of character, I have a bad theory, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. That accounts for one, but the rest of the armada?
Question. Now, if they were taking the northern route or southern route around the inland sea?
They weren't loading any into boats when I was leaving the facility.
They did northern around the sea, is he? I'm going to draw lines. Route 1, Route 2. You can go north of the sea to Ba Sing Se or south of the sea to Ba Sing Se.
It's going to say north.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
But he's going to say he didn't see anything else after that, and he had to make his own travels. Plans to quickly get to Ba Sing Se.
It's probably too much to ask that they hit a swamp and all their gear trains broke. I wonder if the Northern Water Tribes gotten involved and harassed them, but I don't really know what's happening up there.
No one does. They've been in isolation for over 30 years.
Is it his turn to ask a question or ours?
I'll let you guys ask one more, and then I'm going to jump to the next area, and then we're probably going to wrap for the night.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question if you guys don't.
Which is yours? I have a few left.
One of you ask a question. There's a fun one. I'm shocked no one's asked yet, but we'll get there.
Let Hotaru go first.
What can you tell us about Director Kresh that we might not already know? What can you tell us that can give us an advantage or surprise him or help take him down?
Okay, so I'm not going to count this as one of the questions because as he explains Director Kresh, he's going to be telling you about a very secretive individual. He actually has less information on Director Kresh than you guys do.
Oh, no.
Yeah, because the only reason you guys have the information you do is because you've been to the library recently. He has nothing on Kresh.
I mean, that was okay. Then I have one other question if I can get a different one.
Well, you guys get one more. It's going to be you get one more answer out of him tonight.
Okay. You may not have this answer either, but you are well traveled. Do you know where the real Avatar is? Or where we could start looking for him?
I've always assumed that the Avatar died during the Airbender genocide.
Right, but then he should have reincarnated.
If he did, I would assume that he's either in hiding or he perished during one of the many raids.
So nothing.
I mean, it usually takes until teenage years or maybe preteen for someone to realize they're the Avatar, doesn't it?
Usually, the sages would tell them on their 16th birthday. So, we lost the first the airbending Avatar when the war began.
Oh.
If no fire sages have come forward, or if no sages have diligently even searched for the Avatar, they could remain lost for decades. Avatar Kyoshi wasn't identified as an Avatar until she was in her 20s.
Ooh, Izzy, I since again he didn't answer a question, I sort of have another question.
Okay, last one, Wex.
All right. I need to ask you something out of character, though.
Sure.
And I don't know if Khan ever told us this. This is me forgetting as the player. Did the Spy Master talk about what happened to him and what help he got from the Mother of Faces?
You guys... No.
We know he got the ability from the Mother of Faces. I'm not sure if he ever discussed any of the circumstances surrounding that.
Well, the ability to what?
Change his face.
Right, okay, yes.
I think we also heard from someone else that there was a faceless one at the library who was implied to be the Spy Master before he went to visit the Mother of Faces.
Okay, so I'm going to ask this. Do you know what happens? What happens to someone whose face is taken?
He's going to look over his shoulders and then look back at you. Then he's going to say, losing the face is an outside feature, and he's just going to kind of wave his hand in front of his face. And when the hand is removed from over it, his entire face is just smooth. And you just hear a voice, but there's no mouth for it to come out of. It's like, but when you lose your face from a spirit that takes it from you, it's not just losing your physical features. You also lose part of your identity. You lose what makes you special, lose what makes you unique. You become no one. He's just
I look somberly at him. You met Code, didn't you?
The hand is going to reappear over his face, and the elderly features that he has been wearing for this time is going to be like, yes. Yes, I did.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. If I didn't, I wouldn't be the man I am now.
You don't remember anything about who you used to be?
I remember that I was arrogant, foolishly so, and my hubris is what cost me my face. And so I've built a new identity. That's why I don't believe everything that the Fire Nation has been feeding, all the lies, all the deceit. In a way, because I was no one for so long, I can see through those lies. And I know that the best way forward is not the path we're on. But, as no one, I can get where I need to go, speak to who I need to speak to, and they'll never know I was here.
Okay, one final question for Izzy, the GM, and then I am satisfied.
Okay.
Izzy, when he changes, it's just his face changing, right? Not his body?
Doesn't look like it. Though he's just taken away his face and put it back on. You do know that when he was pretending to be Ringmaster Sagan, he was more portly.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all I will give you. All right. And last, I know we've just hit over 10. I'm going to handle Minghua very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Minghua, come with me, Lore.
I'm in danger.
Yay.
Lore,
Hey,
you're in danger.
I'm in danger.
You are in the Undercity catacombs. Pitch black. Can't see a thing. Mud around your feet. Kind of fell into it, so you just have a face full of dirt. Looking around, you hear rattling, squeaking of rats. And you hear footsteps, stone on stone, rushing around. What do you want to do?
Spit the mud out of my mouth.
Okay. Anything else?
And I can't see anything, not even an indication of, like, where a tunnel might go.
I'm going to say up ahead of you, you probably see, like, a green light. Like at 2 o'clock.
Worst possible idea, but I'm gonna go for it. Kind of holding the tree like I'm ready to throw it.
Tree is still up top.
Damn it! I grab a handful of the mud.
Okay. You doing this sneakily, or are you just running?
I'm doing this sneakily.
Alright, roll me stealth.
Oh yeah, that thing I'm so good at.
Yeah, I know. I want...
Ooh.
Your choice. Fail or succeed with a major twist.
Fuck it, let's full hog. I'm curious that you'll make a major twist in this scenario. I'm already doomed. Let's go for it.
You're gonna run forward?
No.
Oh, you're sneaking forward. As every step.
I'm taking the major twist with success.
All right. As you sneak forward, your feet slowly sink to the mud, making those squishing sounds. You get closer to this bright light, and you realize there's a doorway here, and the light shining through it. You stop quickly by the doorway and take a peek in. As you stop to listen, to see if you see anything inside from the green light, you hear that squishing sound continuing from back where you were, getting closer to you. As you look inside, you see, I'm going to call it a device. Strange device that's powering on. It looks like a green candle on a ring that's just being rotated around because it's positioned on a rock. There's a individual in there. Wrists bound by stone, attaching him to a chair. Same with legs. These stone hands on his face, keeping his eyes wide open. And you see one of those guys in a wide-brimmed hat standing in the center, making this lantern on a rock spin around, saying, "There is no conflict in Ba Sing Se." And this guy who can't look away and blink is saying, starting to repeat everything this Dai Li agent is saying. There is no conflict in Ba Sing Se. The Earth King is good and all-knowing. You will obey the Earth King. You will conform. You will do only what is asked of you for the good of the Earth Kingdom. Anything the Earth King asks you, you will do without question. Or, I'm sorry, I take that back. Anything the royals ask you to do, you will do without question. And as your major twist, Minghua, as the Dai Li agent is saying it, and as that individual is repeating those words, you strangely find yourself repeating that same last phrase as well.
Well,
Anything the Earth Kingdom royals ask me to do, I will obey.
Well, that's gonna get interesting.
And that is where I'm going to leave you for lore. After this happens and he shuts the machine down, they will you will like shake your head, but like that will be rattling into your head, and you'll like find a ladder nearby, and you'll be able to meet up with the rest of the party after they're in the palace.
So repeat that last bit again.
You'll be able to
You'll
be able to repeat up with Nara, Rizik, and Han when they're back at the palace.
How am I getting out of there?
You find a ladder after a little bit of searching and are able to just get out. That said, you now have a Gias of whenever somebody who is Earth Kingdom royalty asks you to do something, you need to do
Things
it.
are getting real interesting. Yeah, I'm putting a reminder in our private chat to myself about that.
Yeah. All right. Please do, and we can go back over to the back to the main channel.
Yep.
Oh, I'm looking at the off-topic thing.
I know.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
All right. Well, what are we calling this session, everybody?
Q&A.
Was it just?
Izzy is apparently calling it "There is no trauma in Bossing Say."
That was last.
That was
last week.
That was last week.
Oh, I know. Questions in Anguish.
That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love it.
Yeah.
Alrighty. I hope everybody had a good time. Lore, please change your sheet as is appropriate.
What?
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I may have to ask you a little question about that, but yes.
That's fair.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Or you're supposed to do jailbreak entirely on your own.
I got out.
Wait, what?
I'll meet
Don't.
I'll meet back up with you later. It's fine.
Yeah. No. Minghua will be returned to you guys without any issue.
Yeah.
It's fine.
What
Yeah,
the
no,
fuck
I'll
did
be
I
back
learn
with
in
you guys
this?
next time.
Meanwhile, you really need to invest in your will save at any point.
Nah, I'm fine.
All right. So let's start up. First up, what did you learn? What do you want to know more about? And where do you think this is going? Rizik.
Yeah, sorry. I jumped
I
down a little bit.
learned more about Spiridor. Also, some of the where the secret prison stuff is.
Yep. Fair. What do you want to know more about?
As usual, far too many things, but mostly what happened to Meanwhile.
And where do you think this is going?
Conflict in Bossing Stay.
Don't you fucking dare.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Alright. Yira, what did you learn?
What about the Spy Master? We can't make it to the Spirit Cave easily. Also, Han's lap is burning. It's probably going to get lit on fire at some point.
What?
Because they keep dumping all the responsibility.
Yeah, hi, yeah.
He's still holding the hot potato.
I
Yeah,
have
we-
the
yeah,
hottest
we-
potatoes.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. What do you want to know more about?
A couple other things in Fire Nation politics. Something about a few things about spirits.
And where do you think this is going?
Big Stupid Jailbreak Part 2.
Fair. Going back up, Nara, what did you learn?
I have people for that.
What do you want to know more about?
I want to know about the king in Bossing Say, because, like, the king that we saw 100 years later was pretty stupid with everything, so I'm wondering if this one is, like, more aware of what's going on, or if he's just as, like, kept in the dark.
Fair. And where do you think this is going?
Rescue mission for my main babysitter.
Fair enough. Han, what did you learn?
The political situation in Bossing Say is, if possible, even uglier than in canon.
Fair. What do you want to know more about?
Just how badly did Minghua getting captured go for Minghua and the party as a whole?
It's fine.
It's fine. And where do you think this is going?
this internal Cold War in the city is about to go very, very hot.
I thought you guys were just gonna leave the city.
You summoned
You
them. This is
played it
your
up straight
fault.
with the
Yeah.
Earth thing.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I make problems.
Yes, and we enjoy them, even if we all yell at you a lot.
Ah, Hotaru, what did you learn?
That we should not leave the Chaos Pair with less than 3 other party members.
It's true.
Wait,
To be fair, that was 100% me being an impulsive idiot and knowing it was going to backfire.
Still.
What
it
do,
wasn't me this time.
Correct!
I distinguish pair.
what do you want to know more about?
The Spy Master.
I'll bet.
All of it.
And where do you think this is going?
There is conflict in the Earth Kingdom.
You guys,
Don't you lie to me.
you guys are really pushing for this conflict.
No,
I mean,
you
It's
are.
it's happening now, whether we want to or not. Is a
Yeah, I know. Minghua, what did you learn?
Also, how is Basic even creepier than it was in canon?
I feel like that same answer was given, but in reference to Pokemon.
Thanks.
What do
You're
you...
probably wrong.
At least we haven't entered the red light district yet.
You guys haven't found it yet. What do you want to know more about?
Whether my and Wex's theory is right, because that's looking so much more likely after this session. Also, Terran seems to be missing. That's interesting.
And where do you think this is going?
Smiley face.
See, guys, it wasn't bad. Lore gave a smiley face.
uh-huh.
I have questions about that smiley face.
Oh boy.
Kakan!
It just seems like the most succinct answer I could give.
Kakan, what did you learn?
Kakan learned that any hope of Crusher's motivations not being Sakams is no longer tenable, unfortunately. Let's see.
What
He
did you
wants
want-
to know where...
What do you want to know more about?
He wants to know where the Spymaster has been and more about Ember Island. And, for what's to come, Ember Island and conflict in Bossing Say.
Yep. Also, most of your guys' number 2 questions, especially for Kakan, Yura, and Rizik. I'm sorry, Kakan, Yura, and Hotaru. Yeah, you guys could just ask the Spy Master next week.
Yeah, no, we will. Yeah.
We're
Oh.
going to.
Oh, would you guys like me to put the image of the Spy Master up on the screen for you to enjoy?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Without his face or with his face?
With his face.
With his face.
Which face?
The one
Let's
he's
find
the
out.
one he is currently using.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if we can recognize the anime as he used for this one.
Oh,
nice.
cute. Very cute.
Ah, nice.
One more thing.
I did say for you to call him uncle.
Wait, where'd you put it?
It's above the...
Roll 20.
Yeah, in roll 20.
Oh.
That show is way better than it has any right to be.
Oh, I miss Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
Everybody misses Jackie Chan.
it's
It
true.
was so good.
All right. Well, I hope you all had a good time. I'm sure some of you found this session more enlightening than others.
Yeah.
But yeah, does anybody else have anything to say before we sign off for the night?
Nope. That is it.
That is it. All right. Well, if that's the case, everybody say goodnight to the recording.
Good night, recording.
Good night, recording.
Recording.
Good night.
There is no conflict in the Earth Kingdom.